Chapter 261. The core area of the Big Dipper was vast and rich in minerals. All the major factions were occupying the resource lands and mining the mineral veins. With Shueguan's current strength, no one dared to compete with the Shui family for the mineral veins. Once the Shui family occupied a resource land, no one dared to touch it. In particular, the large resource lands controlled by the Shui family were a few pieces of fat meat. However, with Shueguan and the Shui family, who dared to set their sights on these resource lands? For example, this resource land had a majestic mountain range. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth was abundant, and the plants were lush. At the peak of the mountain range, the fragrance of herbs wafted down. There was a fertile herb field here, because it absorbed the essence of the sun and moon all year round. The herb field contained the essence of the earth. Everyone knew that the more fertile the soil, the faster the spiritual herbs grew. The Shui family occupied this mountain range and planted all kinds of precious spiritual herbs. In less than 5 to 6 years, when it was time to harvest, it would be a huge fortune. At the peak of the mountain, there were many guards from the Shui family patrolling everywhere. The Shui family even suppressed some slaves. They were all small cultivators and imprisoned them here to plant spiritual herb for the Shui family and cultivate resources for the Shui family. Who is it? An old cultivator's eyes suddenly opened and shone brightly. He was a sixth heaven transcendence realm elder of the Shui family. His expression was gloomy because he saw someone rushing to the peak of the mountain range. Did he not know that this was the Shui family's spiritual herb mountain range? A group of guards were alarmed. They were all elites of the Shui family. There were 3 transcendence realm cultivators guarding the mountain range. Stop right there. The group of guards rushed over and drew their killing swords, wanting to stop a young man who was quickly climbing the mountain. Get out of my way. Su Yan's eyes flowed with killing intent. His entire aura was released, and the overflowing power of the soul conduit realm gushed out. It swept over like a huge wave, causing a large number of guards to die on the spot. For a moment, blood flowed like a river. Look, the hundreds of slaves suppressed by Shueguan were all agitated. They saw a fierce man rush up and destroy a group of Shui family guards. Bastard, who are you? The 3 Dharma plane cultivators were enraged. Suffocating ripples spread out from their bodies. The power of the Dharma plane was overwhelming, causing the entire mountain peak to change color. Behind him, a blue sea filled the sky. The people who will kill you. Su Yan's response infuriated the 3 of them. They recovered one after another and erupted with their strongest strength. They each stretched out their palms and grabbed at Su Yan, who was rushing towards them. Boom! Even more shocking to the slaves was the fact that Su Yan's aura was simply too shocking. He was like a burning furnace, and his god power surged to the heavens, causing the power of 3 Dharma idols to crumble. His physical body was so strong that ordinary transcendence realm cultivators couldn't stop him at all. A large group of Shui family guards screamed in agony. They couldn't stop Su Yan at all. He started a massacre, and murderous aura swept out from his body like a waterfall. The Shui family guards in all directions were beaten to death. Bastard! The 3 Dharma plane cultivators were so angry that their faces turned green. They didn't even know who this person was, but he had slaughtered so many members of the Shui family. If word got out, the Shui family would lose face. Boom! The auras of the 3 Dharma plane cultivators merged into one. For a moment, it was a bit terrifying. A huge palm appeared on the spot, covering the sky and covering the sun. Thousands of Dharma plane light beams intertwined and overflowed with the laws of the sea. This palm was so shocking that it caused the void to sink. It slashed toward Su Yan, causing layers of territory to collapse. The 3 of them felt that it was about time. They should be able to kill Su Yan. The huge palm slammed down, causing the rocks to collapse. The sky was filled with dust, and there were no more traces of life. Just as the 3 of them retracted their palms, their expressions changed. They turned around and saw a shadow appear behind them. No! Su Yan's aura climbed to the peak. He activated the Overlord body art, and his aura was frighteningly wild. Overlord body art. He's Su Yin. The three Dharma plane cultivators were shocked and furious. They found it hard to believe that he was Su Yin. They wanted to stop this person, but Su Yin had already charged over. He waved his fists fiercely. This punch caused heaven and earth to collapse. The void was pierced, and a huge black hole appeared. The fist rolled over, filled with terrifying waves of energy. The three Dharma plane cultivators coughed up blood as if they had been struck by lightning. They flew out like dead dogs. You? How can you still be alive? Isn't he dead? Are you really Su Yin? An old man was terrified. Su Yin's strength, just now, was clearly in the Dharma plane. He had actually cultivated to the Dharma plane. Do dead people need to know so much? Su Yin raised his fist and punched out. He attacked in anger and showed no mercy. He hit the old man until he exploded into a bloody mist and died under Su Yin's fist. Oh my God, he's Su Yin. Good fight. Hero killed him. Haha, killed him. The slaves in the area were surprised and happy. They had heard of Su Yin's name before, but they didn't expect him to come and kill them so fiercely. He had sacrificed 3 Shui family Dharma plane cultivators. If news of this spread, the Shui family would be heartbroken. Tell me, are there any Shui family resources nearby? Su Yin asked. Some people were bold. After being tortured by the Shui family, more than 10 cultivators in tattered clothes came. They quickly told Su Yin some clues. Some even threatened to follow Su Yin and were willing to fight the Shui family with him. You've all run for your lives. Don't ever come back. Su Yin waved his sleeves. The world was vast and mighty. Layers upon layers of medicinal fields were lifted by him and stored into the Phoenix hairpin space. He didn't have the time to pick them one by one. After doing all this, Su Yin went to the next resource site. There were more than 10 Shui family resources nearby. Although it wasn't particularly large, Su Yin was determined to teach the Shui family an unforgettable lesson. This led to one region after another being filled with killing intent and rivers of blood. Big news, Su Yin came out alive. Now that news of Su Yin's reappearance had spread to Big Dipper City, it caused a huge uproar. Those who heard the news couldn't believe it. That person had actually come out alive from the Thunder Dominion. Su Yin stomped Su Yin to death. Su Yin's cultivation has entered the Dharma plane. Just this news alone was enough to shock everyone. The Outer Realm geniuses were all paying attention. This was a person who had opened the 9-day Song gates. Once a Big Dipper prodigy with a peerlessly powerful physical body reached the Dharma plane, it meant that he was about to catch up to the younger generation. When the Shui family heard this news, their expressions turned ugly. However, when it was almost nighttime, another piece of news spread, causing a huge uproar. Big news! Su Yin went to the Shui family's Spirit Herb Mountain and killed 3 of the Shui family's Dharma plane cultivators. What? The Big Dipper prodigy is crazy. He actually dared to attack the Shui family's resource sites and massacre the Shui family. He's really crazy. This demon king actually dared to attack the Shui family's resources. Big Dipper City continued to be in turmoil. This matter caused too much commotion. After all, Shuiguan was currently at the peak of his power. However, the Big Dipper prodigy had come out alive and attacked the Shui family's resources. Good job killing them. When Little Dragon King heard this news, he couldn't stop laughing. He really didn't expect Su Yin to come out for revenge so ruthlessly. He actually attacked the Shui family's resource sites and killed 4 of the Shui family's Dharma plane cultivators. Even if the entire Shui family had a large population, how many of them could reach the Dharma plane? Su Yin, this evil creature, kill him. I want to sacrifice him alive. The Shui family's forces in Big Dipper City were furious. They rushed to the Spirit Herb Mountain to search, but Su Yin had already disappeared. As for the Spirit Herb Mountain, it was a mess. All the spirit herbs had been uprooted. Even the ones that couldn't be picked had been completely destroyed by Su Yin. This is satisfying, really satisfying. Who is Su Yin? Find him for me. I want to be friends with him. Some prodigies from other regions laughed loudly. Clearly, they had suffered at the hands of Shuiguan and had started to pay attention to the Big Dipper prodigy. I knew it. Suyin won't die so easily. The Schweff family head's face was extremely gloomy when he saw the image projected by Cosmos Horn. His heart was bleeding. The number of Dharma plane cultivators that had died at the hands of Su Yin, including the previous ones, had almost exceeded 10. However, Su Yin was still alive and kicking, and his battle strength had even reached the Dharma plane. Ah, the Schweff family head roared. Find him for me. I want to burn his bones and scatter his ashes. The core area of Big Dipper was in an uproar. It was very restless. However, no one had expected Su Yin to go to the Grand Middle region. He really did not expect that the mine he had found would be taken by the Schweff family. This mine was the most important asset of the Schweff family. There were 5 Dharma plane cultivators gathered here. Of course, they were all from the older generation and had high prestige in the Schweff family. They were all elders of Shueguan. This is so infuriating. I really want to go to the Grand Middle region and use my spear to lift Su Yan's body up. I want to throw him to the ground and kill him. He actually had the guts to massacre the Schweff family's resource area. How dare he? He's too daring. The Schweff family is angry. Blood will flow for thousands of miles. We must find out the family behind Su Yin and slaughter them all. The Schweff family's humiliation must be washed away with blood. In this large mine, the experts of the Schweff family gathered here were furious. An old man with a bad temper roared. Schweff was killed by him. That bastard, I'm going to kill him. Su Yin has entered the Dharma plane. He has to submit to my nephew, Guanjuan. Shueguan's uncle 16 gritted his teeth and said, Does Guanjuan know about this? Tell him to kill Su Yin immediately. The Schweff family cannot lose face because of him. Damn it, we can't go to the Grand Middle region to kill Su Yin because we're guarding this mine. One by one, the elders of the Schweff family were enraged. They were like 5 old lions emitting killing intent. Someone coldly said, If he dares to come here, I'll make sure he doesn't leave. Ha ha! Su Yin, deliver myself to your door. There's no need for you to go to the Grand Middle region. I'll send you to hell right here. At this moment, a muffled explosion sounded. The entire large mine was shaken by Su Yan's voice. Some of the excavated mines even sank down. In an instant, rocks flew everywhere. Killing intent filled the entire mine. Su Yan, the mine was in chaos. Their faces paled. Chapter 262. Su Yan, it's really him. How did he know that our Schweff family's mine is here? Quick, spread the news and ask Shueguan to come and suppress this bastard. The entire mine flowed with divine light. The Schweff family's cultivators all paled. How did he know the location of the mine? Although the Cosmos Business Alliance had auctioned off the mine, outsiders didn't know the location of the mine at all. This large mine had already made the Schweff family a lot of money. Now, they had already excavated the divine material. The Schweff family didn't dare to leak any information about such a rare mine. After all, it was related to the divine material. They couldn't guarantee that someone would forcefully rob the mine. However, Su Yin had already arrived. The power from the starry sky treasure mirror sealed the sky and the earth, sealing the void in this area. Kill him. This bastard can't do anything. The 5 Transcendence Realm cultivators were enraged. The Schweff family's Ingjia was here, and there were 5 Transcendence Realm cultivators guarding the mine. Although Su Yin had already entered the Transcendence Realm, the mine wasn't something he could barge into alone. The 5 Schweff family elders were like 5 angry lions. Their auras split the sky, and divine light surged from their bodies. They broke free from the galaxy treasure mirror suppression and charged toward Su Yin. However, Su Yan's speed was shocking. He left after images in the entire mine. Kill! Su Yin let out a loud roar and charged into the Schweff family. His entire aura was released. The moment the essence blood in his body surged, waves of anger surged and pierced through the sky. Bang, bang, bang. Su Yan's essence blood shot out of his pores. It contained the power of the True Dragon secret technique. It rippled out and swept across the entire area. The surroundings trembled. A large number of Shui family cultivators screamed as they were hit by the radiated true dragon murderous aura. Layers of terrifying air currents caused some of the Shui family members to scream and explode into a bloody mist. The veins were stained with blood. Creatures below the Dharma characteristic realm were like chickens and dogs. They let out miserable cries. Some died, some were seriously injured, and the entire mine was in chaos. Su Yin traversed through the void like a true dragon emerging from the sea. Behind him was a gigantic true dragon totem. It rose from the ground in a flourishing manner, exuding a majestic aura that suppressed the heaven and earth. "Give me your lives." Su Yin pushed forward, his entire body gushing with true dragon light, boundlessly domineering. Shui family members were sent flying. They couldn't stop Su Yin at all. The aura of true dragons that surged from all directions slashed over with immense power. The groups of cultivators did not even have the time to escape and were blasted into ashes one after another. "Su Yin, you evil creature." The 5 old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators' eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. They had already rushed over, like 5 great furnaces overseeing the 4 directions. Huge Dharma characteristics rose behind them one after another, filling the void and sealing Su Yin. Moreover, they waved their Dharma seals and pressed down on Su Yin angrily. "Kill!" Su Yin roared loudly, venting the anger in his heart. His entire body was like a blazing divine furnace, surging with monstrous divine power. When the Inception Sutra was activated, the divine power and the physical body merged into one. Su Yan's body seemed to have turned into a huge golden gate, surrounded by an extremely domineering aura. This was the tyrant body art being activated, causing Su Yan's aura to suddenly soar. It was as if a blazing sun had been born, releasing light that illuminated the sky. The sealed space formed by the 5 old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators was instantly torn to pieces. Boom! Su Yin roared into the sky. His hair danced wildly, and his entire body surged with golden divine power. It was as if thousands of lightning bolts had struck the sky. This was an unstoppable, ferocious power that looked down on everything. How can this be? How can the divine power in his body be so crazy? The 5 old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators were shaken to the point that the blood in their bodies was churning. Their bodies felt like they were about to break apart. They were in great pain and despair. Su Yin in the state of the tyrant body art was simply too shocking. Boom! A cauldron rotated in the sky, emitting a terrifying aura. It stunned the 3 old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators on the spot. At the same time, the bottom of Su Yan's feet glowed, and complex veins filled the void. Su Yan's aura was ethereal, and his figure gradually became blurry. The moment he disappeared, the void also disappeared, and so did the 2 Dharma characteristic realm cultivators. ****. The 3 Dharma characteristic realm cultivators who had been suppressed shouted angrily. Su Yin activated the shrinking ground and brought the 2 old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators away. When the sound of the commotion in the mine was transmitted from afar, the 3 of them turned their heads, and their expressions changed. They saw that Su Yan's blood was surging to the sky. He waved the Big Dipper fist and caused the entire mine to shake. What a terrifying divine power. The 2 old cultivators who had been brought out by Su Yin felt as if they had been struck by lightning. They flew out like kites with broken strings, and they coughed up large mouthfuls of blood. Their eyes were filled with despair. Was this still a small cultivator? He clearly had the demeanor of a genius. Their eyes were filled with fear. They had a premonition that provoking Su Yin was definitely a wrong decision. After all, his foundation was too strong, and he had even mastered many shocking secret techniques. The shrinking ground made Su Yin even more powerful. He could come and go without a trace. The entire mine was filled with afterimages. Su Yin was on a killing spree, and he showed no mercy. The entire mine was sealed by the galaxy treasure mirror, and not a trace of energy leaked out. In short, a large number of Shui family cultivators were killed by Su Yan. One after another, the old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators were killed by him. Bam! Su Yan threw out the natal cauldron. Like a giant mountain, it smashed down with a boom. The Dharma characteristic realm cultivators could not block it, and they were all smashed to death. You demon! The surviving cultivators were terrified. They felt a chill from head to toe. A large number of the Shui family's elites had gathered here, but Su Yan was invincible here. Ha ha! Su Yan laughed. His clothes were not stained with blood, and they fluttered in the wind. He said coldly, "Let me borrow a phrase from the Shui family. The winner takes all. It has been true since ancient times. Today I, Su Yan, will sacrifice all of you alive. Give me your lives." Su Yan's hair danced in the wind, and his killing intent was wild. He started a massacre in the devastated mine. Bam! He pushed up with both hands, and a true dragon was formed. A huge true dragon totem attacked, sinking the last group of Shui family members. The entire large mine quieted down. Su Yan sat cross-legged and took out the Heaven's Essence stone to refine. He was not in a hurry to leave. Because the Galaxy Treasure Mirror had sealed the void, and because the Tyrant body art had consumed a lot of Su Yan's energy, he took an hour to recover. He was full of energy and spirit, and he began to search the large mine. Finally, he found a hidden room and blasted it open. He took away a large number of precious ores and even found more than 20 kilograms of divine materials. Su Yan left through the void and took the Galaxy Treasure Mirror, leaving behind the mine that was full of corpses. In less than a day, the news spread, and it attracted the attention of the vast Big Dipper. Big news. Su Yan killed his way to the Grand Middle region. He destroyed a large mine of the Shui family and killed 5 old Dharma characteristic realm cultivators. This news caused a stir in the Big Dipper cultivators. Some of the prodigies found it hard to believe. 1 or 2 years ago, Su Yan was still a small cultivator. Now, he had killed so many Dharma characteristic realm cultivators of the Shui family. This is too shocking. I can't believe it. Su Yan is really a ruthless person. Su Yan has killed more than a dozen Dharma characteristic realm cultivators of the Shui family. He has almost killed half of the Shui family's core force. It's really hard to believe. However, Su Yan and the Shui family have an irreconcilable blood feud. A large number of the Shui family's elites rushed to the Silver Passage and said that they would kill Su Yan. Isn't it a bit late to react? Don't blame Su Yan for being ruthless. If you want to blame someone, blame the Shui family for being too overbearing. They didn't even let Su Yan's friends go. Even the young Dragon King and the Cosmic Beast King were implicated. No matter what, Shui Guan is like the sun in the sky. He is invincible in the Big Dipper. Su Yan made an enemy of Shui Guan. Will he have a good ending in the future? When the cultivators of various races heard this news, they were all shocked. Some were speechless. They never thought that Su Yan would come out alive from the Thunder Territory and cause such a bloody massacre. He had massacred the Shui family's resource sites one after another. How satisfying, how generous. The young Dragon King laughed loudly when he heard this news. The Cosmos Business Alliance had put this mine up for auction, and the Shui family had paid a huge price to obtain it. Who would have thought that Su Yan would be the one to destroy it? The next morning, another piece of news spread throughout the Big Dipper. Bastard. The Shui family's patriarch couldn't accept the scene projected by the cosmic horn. His face flushed red, and he felt like he was about to spit out blood. Another large resource site had been destroyed, and there were corpses everywhere. Who would have thought that Su Yan would rush through the night and destroy another Shui family's resource site? This madman, he destroyed 3 of the Shui family's large resource sites in succession. Who said that revenge is a dish best served cold? The Shui family is in for a bad time. It seems like Su Yan won't give up. He might even attack the Shui family's resource sites. The Shui family's people were so angry that they were out of breath. Su Yan's actions were too fast and decisive. Su Yin attacked the Shui family's 3 large resource sites in a thunderous manner. The Shui family's people were very far from each other, and it would be very difficult for them to reinforce each other. No one knew where his next target would be. In the core regions that were rich in resources, people were shouting and horses were neighing. The Shui family's people were passing by in large numbers. Their eyes were bloodshot, and they couldn't wait to kill anyone in sight. They searched the entire world for Su Yin, but there was no trace of him. The divine ability of the earth shrinking technique finally began to shine brilliantly on Su Yan's body. Su Yin, you despicable person, come out and accept your death. Big Dipper City wasn't calm. Shui Long had come out of seclusion, and the swan in eye behind him was glowing fiercely. The aura of a divine beast spread out. This was the pressure of a great divine ability, and it caused the Shui Guan's official residence to surge with divine light. Shui Long, he's entered the 3rd heaven of the transcendence realm. His cultivation speed is unparalleled. The future Shui Long is really impressive. Big Dipper City was filled with discussions. Su Yin had already arrived. His clothes weren't stained with blood, and his cold eyes looked at Shui Long, who was standing above the Shui Guan's official residence. A murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Su Yin, do you dare to come out and fight me? Shui Long clamored, as if he had forgotten the pain of the past. He roared with a violent expression. What kind of ability is it to only attack the weak? If you have the ability, come and fight me fairly. Someone couldn't help but sneer. When Su Yin was a small cultivator, the Shui family had targeted him many times. If it wasn't for the past, the current bloody incident wouldn't have happened. Su Yin immediately went to the Cosmos Business Alliance and obtained 1,500 kilograms of Heavenly Essence Stone from He Jing. He Jing smiled bitterly. Originally, we had an agreement with the Shui family, and there would be income in the future. Now that the mine has been picked by you, the Shui family probably won't excavate it in the near future. I think it'll be difficult to get more Heavenly Essence Stone in the future. No worries. Su Yin didn't mind at all. He had consecutively picked the Shui family's resource land and obtained a huge harvest. If he were to sell it, he would get more than 1,500 kilograms of Heavenly Essence Stone. Su Yin threw out a large amount of goods and handed them to He Jing. He Jing estimated for a while and said, the value of these things isn't particularly high. The resources haven't been developed yet, so I can give you 800 kilograms of Heavenly Essence Stone. Su Yin also knew that he wouldn't be able to sell it for much. Of course, he didn't take out some precious things, especially some divine materials. Just as he was about to get up and leave, some of the nearby guests of the Cosmos Business Alliance were discussing. This made Su Yan's heart jump, and he asked He Jing about it. That's right. The Shui family is preparing to hold an auction. It's a small auction, but they've invited Ingjia from all races. I reckon they'll take out a lot of precious items. Hearing this, Su Yin sneered in his heart. The Shui family was going to hold an auction. Hold an auction? Is it that easy? Su Yan's eyes flashed with madness. He was prepared to do something big. After all, he lacked Heavenly Essence Stone, and he still needed a large amount of resources to advance to the Transcendence realm in the future. Chapter 263. Shui family's residence was the center of attention in Big Dipper City. Su Yin, you coward, do you dare to come out and fight with me? Shui Long was angry and cursed angrily. Because he had stepped into the 3rd heaven of the Law Phase realm, he did not think he was weaker than Su Yin. This Shui Long is really arrogant. I really want to kill him with a slap. Yes, little Dragon King, look at him. Little Shui Long is still young, but he is arrogant to such an extent. It seems that Su Yin was not ruthless enough. In Little Dragon King's residence, there were many Monster Clan cultivators coming and going. They were all extremely angry and disliked Shui Long, who was jumping up and down. Although he had some strength, he did not have the strength to be respected as a heaven chosen. Shui Long, this little thing, is still looking up to his elder brother. Little Dragon King was tall and sturdy. The golden horn on his forehead shone brightly. In the past 1 or 2 years, Little Dragon King's strength had become more and more amazing. However, he knew that the gap between him and Shueguan was too big. This made Little Dragon King feel a little helpless. Who? Just as Little Dragon King was watching, he frowned. He suddenly raised his palm and shook it towards the void, trying to force the person inside out. Little Dragon King, I took the liberty to come here. Please don't take offense. Su Yan's face was full of apology. He stepped out from the void. His figure was tall and straight. His aura was like an abyss, making people unable to see his depth. Su Yan, Little Dragon King, was surprised and happy. He quickly withdrew his palm and walked forward. He shouted to the people around him in a low voice, "All of you go down. Don't let anyone come near here. If any news leaks out, you will be held responsible." It's Little Dragon King. The creatures nearby were all Little Dragon King's trusted subordinates. They could not help but look at Su Yan a few more times. They really admired him in their hearts. After doing such a big thing, he still dared to come to Big Dipper City. This place was very close to Shueguan's residence. "Brother Su Yan, please come in. Your name is like thunder piercing the ears." Little Dragon King waved his hand and laughed heartily. "Massacring so many resources of the Shue family is really satisfying. Haha, it's really satisfying. My little achievement is nothing in front of you, Little Dragon King." Su Yan shrugged and said, "I heard that Shueguan had made a move on you, so I came to see you." Hearing this, young Dragon King coldly snorted and said, "Shueguan, and I already have a grudge. It has nothing to do with you. But I have to say, Shueguan's battle prowess is peerless." The young Dragon King sighed and said, "There is a high chance that he will be conferred the title of Northern Dipper Supreme in the future. If that day comes, then I'm afraid the future of the Northern Dipper Starfield will be ruled by Shueguan." "How strong is Shueguan right now?" Su Yan asked. "Unfathomable." Little Dragon King thought for a while and said with an unsightly expression, "If it wasn't for Shueguan having misgivings about my father, I would have already fallen. The current Shueguan is already very extraordinary. Once he comprehends the great Tao in the future, then our bloodline will be in danger." Little Dragon King's eyes were full of worry. The struggle for supremacy among the young Supremes was too tragic. A Starfield could only have one young Supremes. In the future, when Shueguan obtains the title of Northern Dipper Supreme, who could stop his invincible footsteps along with the Great Tao? Even if Little Dragon King's bloodline had some foundation, it was still not enough to face the rising Northern Dipper Supreme. Su Yan was very apprehensive. Even someone as strong as Little Dragon King couldn't figure out Shueguan's depth. This person had obtained the inheritance of an almighty expert and even mastered the various divine abilities. Just how powerful was he? "Brother, why did you come looking for me?" Little Dragon King immediately asked. Su Yan hesitated for a moment and immediately said, "To tell you the truth, I heard that Shueguan is going to hold an auction, so I came here to ask." "You want to?" Little Dragon King stared blankly for a moment. Immediately after, he was startled and hastily said, "You want to make a move on the auction?" Seeing Su Yan nodding his head, Little Dragon King felt a chill run down his spine and said, "You are too daring. How confident are you that you dare to make a move on the auction? That is the auction organized by Shue family. There will be as many guests as the clouds, and the heavens' prides will gather." Su Yan pondered for a moment and communicated with Little Dragon King in a low voice. Since he dared to make a move on the auction, he naturally had a certain degree of confidence. But the premise was that Little Dragon King had to make a move. Of course, he alone was not enough. He still needed to invite helpers. "This matter is too big. Let me think about it." Little Dragon King's expression was grave. He paced back and forth in the room. This matter was not small. If it was accidentally exposed, it would be troublesome. Because he was different from Su Yan, he had the Golden Dragon King's bloodline behind him. Little Dragon King pondered for a moment, then clenched his teeth and said, "Fine, I will also make a bet. I will bet that you, Su Yan, will be able to compete with Shueguan in the future." Little Dragon King's trusted aides standing at the door were all scared. Betting on Su Yan? Isn't this too big of a deal? They admitted that Su Yan was tyrannical. After all, his potential was right there. However, Su Yan's cultivation was not high. The gap between him and Shuiguan was too big. Catching up with Shuiguan in the future? This was as difficult as ascending to heaven. First of all, even for a peerless heaven's pride, it was especially difficult to comprehend the great Tao. However, Shuiguan had already obtained the pass to become a powerhouse. However, Little Dragon King felt that there was no way out. If Shuiguan continued to grow like this, who could stop him in the future? Now, Shuiguan had already swept through all the major secret realms and dug out countless resources. His foundation was getting richer day by day. If this continued, he would accumulate a peerless foundation. I will contact the Star Beast King. It will definitely take action. Su Yin was relieved. He planned to ask Little Dragon King to secretly find Wu Hong. Of course, Su Yin didn't know whether Wu Hong would take action or not. This time, the auction organized by the Shui family was held in Big Dipper City. When the time came, all the heroes would gather. Wanting to rob the auction at this juncture? It was not that easy. Su Yin also asked Little Dragon King to help find the whereabouts of Yuan. Now that there was no trace of Yuan, it was very likely that she was cultivating in seclusion somewhere. At this point, Little Dragon King couldn't help but say, "That brother of yours is really amazing. His martial arts combat strength is peerless. Ordinary law phase realm cultivators can't stop him. You don't have to worry too much. Shuiguan's eyes won't be on him for now." Su Yin naturally knew that the martial god who rose during the Huaxiao Alliance's doomsday was not made of paper. Then, he made a trip to the Cosmos Business Alliance and took away the divine materials he exchanged. He also spent 500 kilograms of heavenly essence stones to buy a large number of resources. He is not a kind person. He will definitely take revenge. Just wait, there will definitely be a good show to watch. He Jing was alarmed. What was Su Yin planning to do? He had already grasped a lot of divine materials. It was enough to make several sets of great killing formations that were not inferior to the 5 elements killing formation. Of course, He Jing would never imagine that Su Yin would have designs on the auction. Shuiguan has returned. It seems that the auction organized by the Shui family this time is no small matter. It is said that most of the items are bartered. Shuiguan has invited all kinds of Ingjia. The lineup for the auction is surprisingly large. I also heard that the Shui family took out a lot of rare treasures to trade for all kinds of resources at the auction. Of course, I also heard that Shuiguan organized the auction this time in order to make friends with the geniuses from outside the domain. That is why he took out a lot of treasures. The news made Su Yin feel pressured. You still want to organize an auction? You should ask if I agree first. Even if I can't take down the auction, I will still ruin it for you. Su Yin gritted his teeth. Soon, he found a remote residence and began to cultivate in seclusion. There's so many divine materials. If used properly, they will definitely have a miraculous effect. Su Yin took out a few dozen kilograms of divine materials and began to inscribe formation runes with the Genesis brush. This time, the great killing formation that he was preparing to set up was no small matter. The current Big Dipper divine weapon could not display its power. If they were to compete in terms of killing weapons, there was no killing weapon that could compare to the killing formation. Time passed day by day. The news of Su Yin chasing after him was very widespread. It was not just the Shui family. Some forces that were on good terms with the Shui family also listened to Shuiguan's orders. Even people like Han Tong had surfaced. They withdrew from the resource conquest and appeared in some regions of the major core regions. They were very angry that Su Yin was still alive and had even stepped into the Transcendence realm. That's all there is to it. He stepped into the Transcendence realm so quickly. It seems that Su Yin was forced to do something desperate. His foundation in the Transcendent realm is definitely not strong enough. He has already destroyed his foundation and is no longer a threat. Han Tong's eyes were cold. He was very relieved to know that Su Yin had stepped into the Transcendence realm. He even noticed that the ranking of the Transcendent realm in the Big Dipper Tower had not changed. The ranking of the Big Dipper Tower's Transcendent realm hasn't changed either. This kid's end is here. The 9th Daesong Gate has been destroyed. This meant that Su Yan's foundation in the Transcendent realm was very weak. Even if he stepped into the Transcendence realm, he would not have much combat power. However, Han Tong and the others still could not be at ease. They were even in a good mood to attend the auction. If they did not get rid of Su Yin, they would not be able to eat or sleep in peace. The longer Bamboo Moon disappeared, the more uneasy Han Jin and the others felt. If Bamboo Moon really obtained the complete Big Dipper scripture, who would be able to stop Bamboo Moon? If they did not get rid of Su Yin, he would definitely be a big problem in the future. Boom! In the Big Dipper city, a bloody light soared into the sky. Because of the shock of the cultivators passing by, Zhu Xing came with a blood-colored halberd. He said in a sinister tone, "This worm is really lucky to still be alive. Last time, you escaped to the Thunder region and luckily survived. Zhu Xing, want to know how long Su Yin can last." One enemy after another came to the Big Dipper city. Everyone was in an uproar. Someone speculated, could it be that Shui Guan has contacted all the geniuses and is preparing to kill Su Yin? It's very likely. After all, Su Yin has shocking potential. In the Big Dipper galaxy, Shui Guan is the leader. Shui Guan can't just watch Su Yin grow. The current Su Yin is already worthy of Shui Guan making a big fuss. Haha, making a big fuss my ass. What qualifications does Su Yin have to compare with our race's champion? It's Shui Long who sent out invitations. He's preparing to organize a heavyweight hunt after the auction. Big news. The Shui family has sent out a large number of people and sealed off the Silver Channel. They're preparing to hunt down Su Yin in the core region. This matter was a bit shocking. The huge Big Dipper city was suffused with a stifling atmosphere. Zhu Xing, Great Child Yao Guang, Great Child Mizar, Han Tong, and the Shui family. All sorts of geniuses had gathered. Now that the Shui family had sealed off the Silver Channel, if they were really willing to spend time searching for Su Yin, how long could Su Yin escape? I seem to see Su Yin running for his life. The image displayed by the Shui family head made him feel much better. This person is too vicious. He killed so many people from my Shui family. I believe that even if the Big Dipper fairy comes out of seclusion, she won't be able to say anything. Why would the young Star-Lord care about the younger generation's expedition? Han Jin took advantage of his seniority and said coldly, Su Yan's crimes are unforgivable. He even dared to deceive me. What else does he not dare to do? My Big Dipper lineage has always had strict family rules. We won't allow traitors to live off us. Wind and rain intertwined. Day after day, the storm swept through. This was a shocking undercurrent. Someone smelled the stench of blood. News of Su Yin being hunted spread everywhere. Shui Long stood in Big Dipper City and laughed angrily. I seem to see Su Yin panicking and thinking about how to escape. But can he escape? He won't be able to escape even if he has wings. The Silver Channel has been sealed by my clan. Little Su Yin won't be able to escape. Shui Guan was like the sun in the midday sky. The geniuses from the outer regions had suffered consecutive defeats. At this juncture, no one dared to provoke Shui Guan. The Silver Channel had been sealed, and no one dared to say anything. The auction is about to start. Why isn't Brother Su Yin here yet? Wu Hong was getting anxious. Tomorrow was the day the auction would start. Shui Guan had invited all sorts of prodigies. After all, he was very powerful now. There were plenty of prodigies from the outer regions who were willing to befriend him. If this continued, Shui Guan might even have a group of followers. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I heard that they had sealed the Silver Channel. Do you want to warm up in advance and open the Silver Channel now? Chapter 264. In the main hall of the official residence, the young Dragon King, Wu Hong, and the Beast of Starry Sky sat cross-legged. After all, robbing the auction was a serious matter. Their expressions were serious. They knew that if they failed, they would not have a good ending. They would be targeted by Shui Guan. The reason why Wu Hong went was because of the auction's resources. Cultivation was to seize fate from the heavens. Rushing to the heavens would allow one to rise. In the future, one would conquer the major starfields and embark on a path revered by the world. If one did not strive, one would be doomed to be drowned in the long river of history. Su Yan's words were shocking. The young Dragon King and the others were surprised. Attack the Silver Passage? This was not easy. They were secretly plotting in the hall. After all, Shueguan was overseeing the auction. It was not easy to succeed. My clan and the Big Dipper clan have no grudges. If we really attack, who will benefit? The Beast of Starry Skies' aura was strong and vigorous. The light golden horn on its forehead glowed and formed a natural pattern that sprinkled its aura across the starry sky. After all, this was a Beast of Starry Sky that was about to evolve into a divine beast. Once the evolution was complete, the Beast of Starry Sky would definitely be a top-notch divine beast. Brother Kong, Su Yin frowned and said, "Let's not talk about who will benefit first. I have my own plans. Are we going to rush to the auction now? It is tantamount to walking right into a trap. With our strength, it is impossible to destroy the auction." The Beast of Starry Sky had a handsome appearance. It was hard to tell whether it was a man or a woman. It said in a dissatisfied tone, "You called us here. Don't tell me you didn't prepare anything." It was also jealous of the auction organized by Shueguan because some of the auction items were leaked. However, with Shueguan personally overseeing the auction, who would dare to have any ideas about the auction? Even Shueguan would not have thought that Su Yin would be so daring. He even dared to have any ideas about the Shui family's auction. "Of course, I am prepared," Su Yin said helplessly. "If you're worried about being exposed and bringing trouble to the family, I can go alone. But the plan is likely to fail." "Brother, don't be reckless," Little Dragon King quickly said. "As far as I know, there are old cultivators of the 7th or 8th heaven of the Transcendence realm guarding the Silver Passage. They are all elders of the Shui family. Their combat strength is amazing. If you go, it will be too dangerous." Su Yin understood that a 7th or 8th firmament Transcendence realm was not something he could deal with. Every breakthrough in the late-stage Transcendence realm would increase his Transcendence divine power exponentially. No matter how strong he was, he had yet to reach the Transcendence realm and could not possibly defeat a Transcendence realm cultivator at the 7th or 8th heaven. They continued to plot. If they wanted to complete this matter, it was not enough to rely on force alone. Su Yin borrowed a sum of wealth from young Dragon King, took away 1,000 kilograms of heavenly essence stone, and went to the Cosmos Business Alliance to purchase several sets of rare ancient array discs. If the plan went smoothly, 500 kilograms of Heaven's Essence Stone was nothing. Many of the rare treasures in the auction were rare items that couldn't be bought with money. At night, Big Dipper City was not calm. Someone went to Shueguan's official residence and claimed to have found Su Yan's tracks. They came to ask for the reward. Zhu Xing and the others killed their way out. Unfortunately, they didn't see anyone. Don't tell me that Su Yin is so daring that he would once again massacre the Shui family's resource lands before the auction begins. The crowd was shocked. This matter attracted attention. Su Yan's tracks were revealed, and he was suspected to be investigating the Shui family's resource lands. "Su Yin, you trash. How dare you make a move on my Shui family? You must be tired of living," Shui Long said in the official residence. "When the auction is over, let's see where a clown like you can run to." The night was not peaceful. Han Tong and the others were all crossing the major regions and paying attention to the situation of the Shui family's resource lands. They wanted to find Su Yan's tracks. Unfortunately, the night passed without them finding anything. The Shui family, on the other hand, did not mind. Shueguan had already said that he would not let Su Yin live for too long. Once the auction was over, he would search for Su Yin. He would flip the entire core region open to find him. The Shui family had suffered great losses. If they could not find Su Yin, the Shui family would lose all face. The auction is about to begin. The Shui family's official residence was solemn. People came and went in endless stream. The descendants of various clans had all been invited and came with great gifts. Now, Shueguan was like the sun at noon in the Big Dipper Star region. Everyone wanted to befriend Shueguan. Some powers even took out some treasures for the Shui family to help auction. Some even prepared large amounts of wealth to buy the treasures auctioned off by the Shui family. There were too many clans that wanted to curry favor with Shueguan. They all wanted to rely on this great mountain in the future. Saintess Ziwei is here. Everyone says that she has a close relationship with Shueguan. Nine Sun's godchild even challenged Shueguan in anger because of this. The official residence was bustling. Saintess Ziwei's arrival attracted a lot of attention. Her clothes fluttered in the wind. Her skin was snow white, and her aura was holy and otherworldly. Her whole body was covered in a rain of light, like a pearl emitting clouds. Shueguan held a gathering of the younger generation. Geniuses gathered. People like Mizar Godchild from the Big Dipper Star region were all here. Geniuses from other regions also showed up frequently. This place was extremely lively. It could be called the pinnacle gathering of the younger generation of the Big Dipper Star region. My son, Guanjuan, is still the one who thinks far ahead. I'm already old and can't do it anymore. The Shuef family head sighed. Hearing this, the experts of various clans frowned. Even if you want to praise him, you shouldn't praise him like this. However, when they thought of how powerful Shueguan was, they all sighed. Shueguan's potential was truly shocking. The Shuef family head had the right to be proud. Inside the official residence, the various clans of the Big Dipper Star region arrived. They all prepared generous gifts to congratulate Shueguan on the smooth progress of the auction. Some of the spectating cultivators were envious. Although the gifts weren't particularly valuable, all the clans came to present gifts. Together, it was a huge amount of wealth. Boom! A divine aura descended from the sky like an immemorial divine mountain. The cultivators gathered in the official residence to participate in the auction were all shocked. Some geniuses even felt suffocated. It was as if a huge rock was pressing down on their chests. What kind of inheritance did this Shueguan get? The geniuses from other regions looked up. Shueguan had already arrived. He walked like a dragon or a tiger, and the vitality in his body was exuberant. His body was faintly discernible, and majestic fluctuations spread out. It was as if numerous immemorial divine mountains were arranged here. It was unknown just how strong Shueguan's physical body was. Even a supreme physique was suppressed by him. From this, one could see just how terrifying Shueguan was. Shueguan appeared to be very calm as he sat cross-legged in the void. Even so, he was like a god that exuded might without being angry. His body exuded an aura of supremacy. Without a doubt, he had cultivated an invincible might. Looking at Shueguan and thinking about Su Yin causing chaos everywhere, I can't help but find it laughable. What qualifications does Su Yin have to challenge the Shuef family? Yes, Shueguan's strength is unquestionable. Even if Su Yin was given 10 years, he still wouldn't be able to catch up to Shueguan. Moreover, Shueguan is already comprehending the Grand Tao. Soon, he will become a supreme expert in the universe. He will be a hero of his generation. He will be able to dominate the Big Dipper star field. The appearance of the Big Dipper star seems to have been tailor-made for Shueguan. In the future, he will definitely be able to look down on the world. He will have the qualifications to step out of the Big Dipper star field and compete for hegemony in the outer regions. Everyone was discussing. Who didn't know that Shueguan had swept through all the major secret realms during this period of time, seizing all kinds of rare resources and rare treasures? His strength was recognized by everyone. Even some of the geniuses from outside the realm who had come to compete for the Big Dipper supremacy had encountered many setbacks. Today, my Shuef family is truly honored by your presence. Shueguan opened his eyes and looked at the cultivators gathered in all directions. He smiled faintly and said, "Thank you, fellow Taoists, for coming. I have prepared many good things for this auction. I will definitely not disappoint you." Ha ha! To be able to participate in the auction organized by Supreme Shueguan is already the fortune of 3 lifetimes. Someone laughed loudly. It's not just the fortune of 3 lifetimes. To be able to see Supreme Shueguan's face is already enough for me. A love-struck woman's eyes lit up as she spoke. There were many people who spoke, and all of them were full of flattery. This caused the members of the Shuef family to straighten their backs. However, there were also some disciples from the previous aristocratic families who were flattering Shueguan. From this, one could see just how powerful and influential the Shuef family was right now. Fellow Taoists, please follow me. The auction is about to begin. Two elders from the Schweff family walked over. Their faces were full of smiles as they greeted the honored guests and led them to the inner hall. There was a large hall within the official residence. It was dazzling with gold and jade and was richly ornamented. It was large enough to accommodate thousands of cultivators to participate in the auction. Boom! The first item that was brought out for auction made some of the geniuses envious. It was a fist-sized blue jade that was suffused with the fluctuations of the starry skies. It was like a condensed river of stars and contained a divine aura. This is a starry skies jade. Someone was shocked. This was an extremely rare material because starry skies jade could be used to refine starry skies heavenly liquid. There was no need to mention the value of starry skies heavenly liquid. It required rare resources and was extremely valuable. This is the first time I've seen such a large starry skies jade. If it was refined into a weapon in the hands of an expert, it would be able to produce Tao patterns in the future. That's right. This starry skies jade could be refined into a Tao divine weapon. The auction hall was in an uproar. The first item to be brought out for auction was already so precious. One could see just how much importance the Schweff family placed on this auction. There was an endless stream of cultivators bidding in the auction hall. All of them had great backgrounds and were willing to spend a fortune. The two elders from the Schweff family were full of smiles. They were in charge of hosting the auction and constantly took out all kinds of rare treasures to start the auction. The auction has probably already started. After it ends, our clan's champion will join forces with the other geniuses to hunt down Su Yin. That's right. We have to find him even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground. Let's see how long this trash can hide. If we don't kill Su Yin, it'll be hard to vent the hatred in our hearts. I want to see Su Yin being executed right now. The area around the silver passageway was filled with an austere aura. The Schweff family would strictly inspect any cultivator that crossed the passageway. Now that Shueguan was at the peak of his power, they probably wouldn't dare to say anything. There were also many elders from the Schweff family overseeing this place. There were even people from the Alcade Palace Hall lurking in the dark. In short, this place was filled with experts. It was truly a tiger's den. Even geniuses didn't dare to trespass. Why do I feel killing intent? Is there someone who is dissatisfied with my Schweff family's actions? A young genius from the Schweff family, riding a strange beast, had a gloomy expression. His eyes scanned the people they were interrogating. He coldly said, "If you're dissatisfied, then say it. I'll listen to what you're dissatisfied with." However, the killing intent here became even denser. Immediately, the 3 elders from the Schweff family were shocked and angered. Their expressions were gloomy as they scanned the area. Who dared to use force in their territory? The group of people who wanted to pass through trembled with fear. They all expressed that it wasn't them and were in a hurry to disassociate themselves. Something's not right. There were at least several hundred cultivators gathered here to guard the silver passageway. Some people's expressions changed because the killing intent was becoming more and more terrifying. It made some cultivators feel as if they had fallen into an ice cave. A muffled sound could be heard in the boundless void. This was the sound of an iron spear. It pierced one's soul, and when it spread out, the expressions of the experts guarding this place changed. They all opened their eyes and scanned the area. Someone shouted, "Who dares to act so impudently again? Get the hell out here." Pung! Suddenly, the pitch-black void distorted and a palm reached out. This hand was surrounded by the sound of a true dragon. It quickly enlarged and surged with heaven overflowing divine light. Several cultivators from the Shui family cried out miserably. They were destroyed in body and soul by this hand that reached out from the void. "It's Su Yin." Cries of alarm rang out continuously from the silver passageway. They saw the white-clothed youth walk out from the void. Did he eat an immortal's guts? Chapter 265. A group of cultivators who were preparing to leave the core region turned pale. Su Yin dared to appear here? Did he not know that a large number of elites were gathered at the silver tunnel, waiting for him to walk right into their trap? The Schweff family had teamed up with Han Tong and the others to seal the tunnel. It was to intimidate Su Yin and prevent him from leaving the core region. But now, Su Yin had actually killed his way here. Could it be that this fellow still had some trump card? Bam! This slap came too suddenly. Su Yin crossed over from the void, and with a wave of his hand, he killed several cultivators of the Shui clan. It's Su Yin. The three elders of the Shui family were enraged. One of them roared, "You evil creature! You dare to charge into a dragon's lair and a tiger's den? Let me tell you, you're dreaming if you think you can tear apart the blockade and escape from the core region. You better stay here and wait for the trial of our family's champion." Kill. Hundreds of experts were gathered here, exuding thunderous anger. There were even more than 10 Dharma characteristic cultivators. There were also Shui family elders who were at the 7th or 8th heavenly layer guarding this place. The lineup was really shocking. In an instant, killing lights shot in all directions. Killing weapons filled the sky. Divine light swept over like waves from the 9 heavens. Boom! The void where Su Yin was hiding was full of holes. However, the void that was opened emitted the aura of Dharma characteristics. It covered the sky and covered the sun. It was as if 3 divine furnaces were burning here. One mysterious living being after another woke up in the broken void. The terrifying aura of Dharma characteristics rippled out, making people feel like their bodies were going to explode. A group of scoundrels. How dare you seal the tunnel? Who gave you the courage? Huge waves rolled up into the sky. The aura of Dharma characteristics soared into the sky. The sun and moon both lost their brilliance, covered by the world-shocking magical characteristics aura. 3 creatures with heaven overflowing auras slaughtered their way over, using secret treasures to conceal their bodies. They moved out, and as soon as they took action, they immediately used their most powerful attacks, making the enormous silver passage tremble. No, a large group of cultivators who rushed over trembled in fear. Their scalps were about to explode. What kind of situation was this? The 3 cultivators at the peak of the Transcendence realm charged out. Their Transcendence divine powers were extremely powerful. Although they did not use any divine powers, the aura that had been dormant in their bodies was not something they could block once it emerged. Bang! Large amounts of cultivators exploded, blasted to pieces in a single exchange, blood dyeing the void red. Quick! Inform our family's champion that Su Yin has called for help. The Shui family's elder was terrified. How could they resist a genius at the peak of the Transcendence realm? My son, Guanjuan, is busy making friends. He doesn't have the time to care about you old fogies. I think it's better to send you all to hell early. Su Yin threw his head back and laughed. His eyes were filled with a cold, killing intent. The natal cauldron was tossed out by Su Yin. It rumbled as it spun and burned fiercely. Its form was as grand as a silver mountain. It swooped down with a suffocating airflow. A large group of cultivators screamed. The natal cauldron was already shocking enough. Su Yin also crossed over. His head of black hair danced in the wind. His entire flesh shell spewed out a monstrous amount of essence blood that pierced through the clouds like a giant dragon-shaped pillar of light rising from the ground. Some people were shocked. What kind of terrifying essence blood was this? What kind of powerful breakthrough was this? His divine power was too terrifying. He could even pinch a Transcendence divine weapon with his bare hands. Su Yin kicked up, kicking a Shui family's Transcendence realm cultivator into the sky. Su Yin charged forward, attacking with iron and blood. He wanted to kill everyone present. What's going on? Why did Su Yin call for 3 great experts at the peak of the Transcendence realm? What is he trying to do? The cultivators waiting here felt a chill run down their spines from head to toe. Wu Hong and the others had concealed themselves with secret treasures, so they couldn't see through the identities of these people. They could only watch helplessly as they rushed out and slaughtered a large number of cultivators like chickens. After all, the little Dragon King was a genius of the Big Dipper starfield. If outsiders found out that he was targeting the younger generation of the Shui family, the Golden Dragon King's bloodline would also be targeted by Shui Guan. At that time, they would be like fire and water, and it wouldn't be good for anyone. Give me your life. The Cosmic Beast King didn't show any mercy. It raised its palm and attacked. The divine power in its body was so domineering that it was like the Milky Way falling down. The Shui family's elders couldn't bear the attack. Their bodies were torn apart. Dong! Su Yin took out the cauldron and activated the tyrant body art. He charged into the battlefield. Apart from the Shui family's elders, the other cultivators couldn't stop him. The sky was full of corpses. The four of them pushed their way through, and the battlefield was full of corpses. Su Yin, you will suffer retribution. A genius from the Shui family roared. He was almost trampled to death by Su Yin. You are the ones who will suffer retribution now. Su Yin raised his foot and stomped down. A might that could split mountains and split seas spread as he stomped this genius of the Shui clan to death on the ground, exploding him into a bloody mist. In less than 10 breaths of time, more than half of the people gathered in the silver tunnel were killed. The people nearby trembled. This was too cruel. Weren't they afraid that Shui Guan would tear them apart? Boom! At this moment, a vast void energy was emitted from the silver tunnel. A void array platform was activated, and a void tunnel was constructed. What? They placed a void array here. The young Dragon King was shocked. The void array was awakening too quickly. There were even killing arrays all around to ensure that the void array was operating safely. When the void array erupted to its limit, a monstrous killing light gushed out from Shui Guan's official residence. What's going on? Everyone in the main hall was shocked. They were all fiercely bidding for the treasures that appeared in the auction. Now, a wisp of energy rose up from the official residence. It was like a roaring ocean. This was a killing intent. It was bone-chilling and spread out for dozens of miles. At the same time, a void array was activated in the Shui family's official residence, and a void tunnel was constructed. The auras of the two void arrays resonated with each other. For a time, a giant void tunnel was forcefully opened. Heavens, look! Many people cried out in alarm. At the other end of the void tunnel, blood splashed into the heavens. A large number of Shui family cultivators died, and their corpses danced in the air. They happened to see a Shui family elder being suppressed by Su Yin. The Shui family elder was already injured, but he was slapped to death by Su Yin in the silver tunnel. It's Su Yin. Is he crazy? How dare he attack the silver tunnel? These people were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. He's gathered helpers. 3 peak transcendence realm powerhouses have been gathered. Who dares to join forces with Su Yin against Shui Guan? Could it be Shui Guan's enemy? Everyone's expression changed. Shui Long laughed angrily. Su Yin, you trash. I was afraid that you wouldn't come out. My big brother has great foresight. He knew that you would rush out in desperation. You really came out. Ha! Let's see where you can run to this time. The void array had been activated. Shui Guan stepped into the void array. At the same time, Mizar Juzi and the others also stepped in. Their bodies were full of killing intent. The moment the void array was activated, Shui Guan's killing intent surged out, causing the giant void tunnel to tremble. Boom! Big Dipper City was not calm at all. With the void array activated, Shui Guan's speed was too fast. This place was not far from the silver tunnel. It wouldn't take long for Shui Guan to kill his way over. Su Yin, let's see how long you can live. The Shui family patriarch was furious at the scene projected by the cosmic horn. Let's see how long you can live. The Shui family's experts were furious. Su Yin had killed a large number of the Shui family's core forces. Even some elders had been killed. No one had expected that Su Yin would dare to attack the silver tunnel. However, Shui Guan had made ample preparations. He guessed that Su Yin was likely to escape. Thus, he had set up a backup plan. At the critical moment, he could cross to Su Yin's location. Su Yin, this traitor. His death is not to be regretted. Also, the 3 9th level Transcendence Realm cultivators who helped him. Once I catch them, I'll crush their bones and scatter their ashes. Even the powers behind you won't have a good ending. Han Jin's cold voice caused the Shui family patriarch's expression to turn cold. He looked at the Golden Dragon King. He seriously suspected that one of them was the Little Dragon King. After all, Su Yan's friends are limited. Xing Jingfu and the others had not cultivated to the peak of the Transcendence realm. Although we suffered great losses in this battle, it's still a perfect ending to be able to capture Su Yin alive. The Shui family patriarch said coldly. Anyone who dares to make an enemy of the Shui family will not have a good ending. Shuiguan has moved. Su Yin is attacking the silver tunnel. He has no way out. Shuiguan is crossing the void. No matter how strong Su Yin is, he can't interfere with Shuiguan's crossing the void. Big Dipper City was in an uproar. Many people were prepared to rush over and watch. This matter was too big. After all, the auction attracted a lot of attention. The silver tunnel was filled with killing intent. Blood flowed like a river. All the people who blocked the tunnel would be killed. When the vast void energy emerged, Su Yin used his strongest power to bombard the void. He wanted to interfere with Shuiguan's crossing speed. However, it was useless. Even if the little Dragon King and the others used all their strength to bombard the void tunnel, they could not make it collapse. None of you will be able to escape. An indifferent voice came from the void tunnel. Shuiguan's aura also erupted to its peak. The life essence in his body swept across the sky, accompanied by the emergence of laws. Shuiguan is so terrifying. The geniuses from the outer realm were horrified. It was as if they saw the world's most dazzling sun crossing the sky. Wherever it passed, the mountains would tremble. The scene was too shocking. Shuiguan's aura was too tyrannical. It was like a burning sun crossing the 9 heavens. His divine might filled the heaven and earth. The void formation in the silver tunnel had already emerged with an invincible momentum. Shuiguan and the others were about to cross over. A stifling fluctuation permeated a radius of 1,000 miles. The boundless void trembled unceasingly. Everyone was shocked by the auras surging from Shuiguan's body. Even the Earth's shrinking technique was difficult to operate. This Shuiguan's cultivation was too shocking. Boom! When Shuiguan's main body arrived here, the entire silver tunnel rushed out with a terrifying might. Divine light gushed out like a waterfall, drowning the vast sky and filling the sky. Shuiguan used a great divine ability as soon as he made his move. The dragon capturing hand soared up and covered Su Yin and the others with a peerless aura. He directly suppressed them. Under the gazes of the surrounding people, the 4 of them did not leave. They even stood still at their original spot, allowing Shuiguan to attack. Chapter 266. Shuiguan's expression was cold. The divine power in his body rippled, and terrifying beams of light shot out of his pores, tearing the 4 shadows apart. His expression was rather unpleasant. He had planned to deal with Su Yin, but he did not expect Su Yin to be so well prepared. It was obvious that his plan to seize the shop had failed. Shuiguan could tell that it was a mind-trapping formation. It was very expensive and could even fool important people for a short period of time. Su Yin had spent a lot of money to buy it from the Cosmos Business Alliance. Su Yin could not refine it at all, so he had spent a lot of money to buy it. Even Shuiguan and the rest could not break it easily. They had to put in some effort to kill their way out of the mind-trapping formation. This bastard is quite well prepared. He even has a mind-trapping formation. He almost succeeded. Fortunately, we came in time. Otherwise, it would be extremely difficult to find Su Yin if he escaped outside. Mizar Juzi and the rest looked extremely upset. They had gone through a lot of trouble to lure Su Yin out, but they did not expect him to have such a rare formation board. However, Han Tong's expression was uncertain. He had a bad feeling about this, but he could not put his finger on it. Of course, he did not think that Su Yin would rob the auction. Let's see how long you can run. Shuiguan was truly enraged. He had failed time and time again. Su Yin had escaped from right under his nose time and time again. Furthermore, Su Yin had grown from a minor cultivator to this level. This caused Shuiguan to feel infuriated. For some unknown reason, he had a feeling that Su Yin would become a formidable opponent in the future. Big brother, this piece of trash is really like a rat. Shuilong came as well. His face was pale as he said, "How did he escape? His luck is just too good." Shuilong, what's the hurry? Yao Guang said disapprovingly. Right now, Su Yin is like a frightened mouse. His escape plan has failed. I don't think he will be able to run for much longer. Right now, it is more important to return to the auction house. I don't know if the items I took out were exchanged for anything. Kaiyang Juzi and the others nodded. Shui Guan had organized an auction, so they naturally had to support it. They took out some extremely precious treasures and traded them for the treasures they needed at the auction. How could this be? As for the scene displayed by the Cosmic Edge, it caused the expressions of Xiao Wan and the others to fluctuate. Could it be that Shui Guan was so terrifying that he could shatter the four young geniuses at any time? Even the Shui family head and the others were in disbelief. However, the Universal Edge could only display images, and they were unable to see the real thing. Kong Ao didn't believe it at all. Shui Guan's combat power was indeed recognized by them. But to kill four young masters with one slap, three of which were at the peak of the Transcendence realm, he felt that this was impossible. There was probably something going on, or perhaps this was some sort of array formation. I have a feeling that Su Yin should have escaped. What a pity. After setting up such a huge trap, he still managed to escape. An elite said, causing the Shui family head's expression to turn ugly. They still didn't know the exact situation and could only wait for the news to spread. No matter what, the Shui family had suffered heavy losses. One of their elders had been killed by Su Yin, and two other elders had also suffered heavy injuries. We have to move quickly. If we encounter any resistance, we have to retreat immediately. We have to be alive to take the treasures. Su Yin and the others were now very close to Big Dipper City. The four of them had solemn expressions and didn't say a word. They stood on a battleship that was surrounded by starlight. This was the battleship of a Space King beast that could travel through space. Even the elites of the universe would covet such an item. The speed of the space battleship was astonishing. They were already very close to Big Dipper City. I'm looking forward to the Shui family's auction. Just how many rare treasures are there? Wu Hong and the others felt their blood boil. They wanted nothing more than to kill their way to the auction house and take away all the treasures. After all, Shui Guan and the other top geniuses had all been tricked out by Su Yin. Now, the Shui family's official residence was strong on the outside, but weak on the inside. This was the perfect time to make a move. This is a heaven-sent opportunity. We have to seize it. The young Dragon King laughed. We're almost there. The Space King beast pierced through the void with its heavenly eye and saw a corner of Big Dipper City. It quickly put away the space battleship and began to travel towards Big Dipper City. After all, the space battleship was too big of a target. It would be easy for others to guess that it was also involved. I wonder what's going on now. Did Shui Guan capture Su Yin? Big Dipper City was abuzz with discussion. There were even cultivators rushing out and approaching the Silver Channel. Su Yin and the others had already fled into Big Dipper City and were rapidly approaching Shui Guan's official residence. My family Shui Guan has made a move. He can definitely kill Su Yin. In the auction hall, the Shui family's eldest brother laughed. Fellow Taoists, the auction cannot be delayed because of a mere Su Yin. Let us continue the bidding. Once the auction is over, perhaps the champion of my family will bring back Su Yan's head. Fellow Taoists, you can stay and watch. Ha! What you say makes sense. That auction item just now was sold for 800 genes of heavenly essence stone. An inheritance disciple from a large family laughed. If no one bids higher than me, then that item will fall into my hands. The quiet auction house immediately became lively. Some people had serious expressions. They didn't want to see Su Yin perish so easily. Some people were still looking forward to the future Big Dipper proud son of heaven growing up and contending with Shui Guan. Treasures were brought out one after another, causing the cultivators present to clamor over them. The more treasures were sold, the more precious they became. Some geniuses from outside the realm even bid for some treasures. Fellow Taoists, the auction has reached the most critical moment. I forgot to inform everyone that once the auction is over, no one should leave. My family is preparing to hold a celebratory banquet. I invite all fellow Taoists to drink and chat happily. Ha! Someone shook their head. They hadn't even caught Su Yin yet, and they were already celebrating? They didn't want to slap themselves in the face when the time came. That's right. My family's champion has already made a move. He should be able to smoothly capture Su Yin and bring him back. The two Shui family elders were all smiles. If they could smoothly complete the auction and then capture Su Yin and bring him back, that would truly be a wonderful event worthy of celebration. Drinking wine is still the best. I've already prepared the fine wine for all of you. At that moment, a voice was heard. The two Shui family elders didn't know what was going on. Their old faces were full of smiles like blooming chrysanthemums. They said enthusiastically, "Fellow Taoists, don't worry. We haven't caught Su Yin yet. Of course, our Shui family will naturally prepare the fine wine in advance. I forgot to inform everyone. If we fail to capture Su Yin." Another elder smiled and said, "Then in this auction, all the items that are auctioned with Heaven's Essence Stones will be taken out, and a bounty will be placed on Su Yin." The entire auction hall was in an uproar. Some geniuses were speechless. This was a bit too expensive. There were at least 6,000 kilograms of Heaven's Essence Stones now. If they were really taken out to place a bounty on Su Yin, it was hard to guarantee that the geniuses from outside the realm wouldn't be tempted. When the time comes, fellow Taoists will help me. Of course, I won't forget the travel fee. As soon as he said that, the voice from before was heard again. The travel fee is very high. I'll pay for it all. Fellow Taoists here, there shouldn't be any objections, right? Ha ha ha, that couldn't be better. The prerequisite is that this fellow Taoist has to show his abilities and catch Su Yin. The two Shui family elders laughed and said, "When the time comes, our Shui family will hand over all the Heaven's Essence Stones in the auction." This is the words of our clan's champion. It's convenient for us to keep our word, so I won't say anything more. It said that Su Yin extorted more than 5,000 kilograms of Heaven's Essence Stones. Isn't the amount of Heaven's Essence Stones in the auction a bit too little? The voice was heard again. It came from afar and came closer. He laughed and said, "I think it's better to take out all the rare treasures in the auction and give them to me." This sentence made the two Shui family elders' faces turn ugly. One of them laughed dryly and said, "Fellow Taoist, you must be joking. How much can a little Su Yin be worth?" Of course, if any fellow Taoist is dissatisfied, you can also discuss the reward with our clan's champion. Otherwise, I think all the items in the auction are worth Su Yin's life. The voice was heard again. This time it was very loud. It seemed that this person had arrived at the Shui family's residence. "Fellow Taoist, are you here to cause trouble or to sincerely help us?" The two Shui family elders' faces turned gloomy. Shuiguan was high and mighty. Who would dare to cause trouble here? Moreover, this was an auction organized by Shuiguan. "Of course I'm here to sincerely help. Fellow Taoist, how much do you think I'm worth?" A shadow strangely appeared in the auction hall, causing the expressions of the Shui family's guards to change. One after another, they rushed over and sealed off Su Yin from the inside out. When the two Shui family elders saw Su Yin's appearance, they were shocked. They felt that they were seeing things. They rubbed their eyes and looked again. Then, their faces turned extremely ugly. Su Yin. People from all over the world gathered in the auction hall. There were also geniuses from other domains. Someone recognized Su Yin at a glance. His face changed. What's he doing here? Is this guy so bold that he dares to mess with the auction? Su Yin is here at the auction. The whole hall was in an uproar. Some geniuses even gasped. This guy's courage was not big. He could be said to be bold enough to cover the sky. He must have eaten the guts of an immortal to come to the auction hall at this time. Ha ha! Su Yin looked up to the sky and laughed. "Look at how anxious you are. I just changed my appearance. Fellow Taoists, please calm down. I was just joking. Please don't blame me." Su Yin's laughter made the people around him stare. Most of them believed him. After all, Su Yin would not dare to mess with the auction hall. "Fellow Taoist, this is not a good joke. I hope you can show your true appearance immediately." The two Shui family elders stared at Su Yin fiercely. The cultivators of the Shui family nearby were ready to make a move. "Fellow Taoists, Please don't be offended. I thought the auction was boring, so I came up with this plan. I'm sorry to disturb your mood, Su Yin said with a smile, just as he was disrupting the order. Wu Hong lay dormant in the surrounding void and began to arrange the positions of the formation according to the formation diagram that Su Yin had given him. Nonsense, the two Shui family elders said eerily. Why do I feel that you are Su Yin? The people around them were nervous. Old man, you have good eyesight. You recognized me at a glance. Su Yin's aura suddenly turned cold. He looked at the people around him and shouted, That's right. I am the Su Yin you're looking for. I'm here to support you and destroy this place. You. Everyone was in disbelief. Was he really Su Yin? Don't be surprised, Su Yin said with a smile. I'm here to sell myself. I don't know if the rare treasures in this auction are worth risking my life for. What? He's really Su Yin? The crowd was in an uproar. They were in disbelief, and their eyes were about to pop out. Suppress him. The Shui family elders were furious and roared at the top of their lungs. In an instant, a large number of Shui family cultivators rushed into the hall and rushed towards Su Yin. Zhu Xing even reached out his hand and grabbed Su Yin's neck. Some of the geniuses who were on good terms with Shui Guan also rushed towards Su Yin. Some of the geniuses from the other regions also rushed over. They wanted to obtain the scriptures that Su Yin cultivated, as well as the various shocking secret techniques. In an instant, the entire auction hall was about to explode. Countless destructive auras swept towards Su Yin, wanting to tear him to pieces. It looks like we won't be able to find Su Yin for a while. Let's see how the auction is going. The experts watching through the starry sky horn were a little impatient. Kong Ao directly activated the starry sky horn and projected the image to the Shui family's mansion in Big Dipper City. He wanted to see what kind of rare treasures would be brought out that would attract geniuses from other domains. They've all grown up and can even set up an auction. I've never set up an auction in my life. Chapter 267. Something's not right. The cultivators on the streets of Big Dipper City felt their hearts tighten. They quickly turned around and looked into the distance. This was because there were dozens of surging waves coming from the Shui family's residence. Each of them had a divine might that could overturn rivers and seas. It was as if they saw a group of prodigies awakening. Their auras were strong, and they started to activate their offensive arts. They were wreaking havoc in the Shui family's residence. That's under the disbelieving gazes of the people around. The main hall of the residence seemed to have transformed into a huge beast. As it breathed, a corner of Big Dipper City instantly shone with a towering light. This was killing intent radiating in all directions. It was too cruel and cold. It swept through the entire Big Dipper City. The cultivators in the city felt as if they had fallen into an ice cave. They trembled in fear. It's the sign of a peerless killing formation being activated. Some people felt as if their scalps were about to explode. They were closer to the Shui family. They could clearly sense that the entire main hall had transformed into a great killing formation. When the formation disk that Su Yin had inscribed woke up from its slumber, a hazy and terrifying radiance shone out. It illuminated a corner of Big Dipper City. For a moment, wild winds howled. Starlight surged like a sea. It was as if a huge dragon had emerged from the sea. When the great killing formation was activated, it absorbed the star essence of Big Dipper City and the essence chi of the surroundings. It created a marvelous scene. The star essence of Big Dipper City was boundless. However, the area around the Shui family's residence slowly turned pitch black. This was the scene of the divine power being completely absorbed. Now, the entire Shui family was surrounded by thousands of strands of starlight. When they gathered in the main hall, the entire main hall exploded. It had transformed into a great killing formation. Terrifying starlight surged out. Huge stars were manifesting. Star formation. The old cultivator trembled with fear. This was a famous formation. It was extremely difficult to refine such a killing formation. This was because the divine materials required were huge amounts of wealth. This killing formation's value was comparable to a divine path weapon. However, the Shui family was holding an auction. Why would the aura of a killing formation appear? Could it be that an accident had occurred at the auction? Rumble. All the cultivators in the auction venue were scared. The star battle array had actually recovered to its strongest state. Moreover, it drew support from the startling divine energy contained within Big Dipper City, manifesting countless stars in the universe. Although these stars were somewhat illusory, they seemed to be real. They lined up in the void, rumbling as they rotated. Their momentum was vast, and each one of them could crush a divine ability, secret realm cultivator to death. The cultivators who were concealed by the great star formation trembled in fear, and the cowardly ones quickly fled for their lives. Suyin, what are you trying to do? Could it be that you want to cut us all down? There were creatures whose fine hairs stood on end, finding it difficult to move. The astral battle matrix was extremely terrifying. Some of the geniuses on the battlefield were struggling to break free, but they encountered an extremely strong resistance and couldn't display their full strength for a moment. Their eyes were cold. Did Su Yin still have the guts to scheme against them? I won't kill those who have nothing to do with me. I just need you to wait for a while. Su Yan's voice reverberated throughout the auction venue. His palms suddenly rose up and slammed towards the two Shui family elders. The cultivators who saw this scene were shocked. Could it be that Su Yin wanted to ransack the auction venue? Su Yin, you're too daring. You dare to trespass here. The two old cultivators roared and struggled with all their might. They were barely able to break free from the astral battle array suppression. But how powerful was Su Yin? His entire body surged with divine light, and the palm he slammed down contained a terrifying destructive force. One of the Shui family elders cried out miserably. He fiercely spat out a large mouthful of blood after being slapped by Su Yin until he was dizzy. In the next moment, he felt as if his liver and gallbladder were being torn apart. Blood flowed from the corners of his eyes, and he was so angry that he was about to faint. This was because Su Yin had taken away a large number of rare treasures from the auction stage. He had even taken off the storage bag that hung from his waist. All of the rare treasures that had been prepared for this auction were all in that storage bag. So yeah, you've got some dog guts. I'll slaughter you. Zhu Xing's entire body surged with a blood-red light. He took out his blood-red halberd and slashed down, splitting apart the stars that were formed from the astral battle array. Then, he strode forwards with his blood-red halberd, wanting to cut down Su Yin. The people in the auction hall shouted and the horses neighed. The people from Arcade Hall also rushed forwards. Among them were some proud sons of heaven that were on good terms with the Shuiguan. They couldn't just watch on helplessly as Su Yin took away all of the auction items. For a time, the massive astral battle array trembled. Over a dozen Ingjia with terrifying auras attacked. Even the astral battle array found it difficult to suppress their auras. Of course, most people were watching from the sidelines, not willing to interfere in this battle. The auction items are ours. Whoever dares to stop us, don't blame us for being ruthless. Young Dragon King, Star Beast King, Wuhong. These three young proud sons of heaven broke through the void. They all had small array discs refined by Su Yin, allowing them to freely move through the astral battle array. As for Zhu Xing and the others, every time they attacked, they would consume a large amount of their divine power. They couldn't even display their strongest state. They angrily wanted to break the array, but the astral battle array wouldn't shatter so easily in a short period of time. Rumble, rumble, rumble. For a time, the entire auction hall was filled with killing intent. The three peak masters attacked, their momentum overflowing and shaking the heavens and earth. On the auction stage, the cultivators from the Shui family rushed towards Su Yin, but every step they took was too difficult for them. This daddy has come to ruin this auction. The Shui family should at least send a few masters to keep up appearances. As for the rest of you, get the hell out of my way. Su Yan's eyes emitted an iron-blooded killing intent. He let out a loud roar that split the heavens and earth. The sound of his iron spear swept in all directions and sent a group of Shui family cultivators flying. Moreover, he waved his fist in the void and swept it in all directions, causing a group of experts rushing towards him to scream miserably. This fist was like a hot knife through butter as it smashed towards them. However, the target wasn't them. These people were all sent flying into the sky by Su Yan's fist and were killed by the astral battle array. Su Yan's fist blazed fiercely as it blasted toward the second Shui family elder who was running for his life. This fist was peerlessly powerful. With the tyrant bodyguard, it was too easy for him to deal with a Shui family elder whose strength was suppressed. PFFF. His back was completely shattered. This Shui family elder spewed out blood in a pitiful manner. His eyes were filled with despair and fear as he involuntarily cried out, "Su Yan, you are truly audacious. You must have eaten the courage of the gods to dare to attack my Shui family's auction. You will die a horrible death." Bam! Su Yan slapped the Shui family elder's face until it caved in. He let out a shrill cry as all of his teeth were broken. "Su Yan, you will not have a good ending." Su Yan stomped on his chest. This Shui family elder's body cracked as his life force rapidly weakened. Elder, the group of Shui family cultivators who were being suppressed, let out a long hiss as their eyes turned red. Because of the suppression of the star battle formation, the two elders of the Shui family had been beaten to death by Su Yan just like that. At the same time, Su Yan bent down and reached for the pouch hanging on the elder's waist. Just as Su Yan's hand was about to touch the pouch, he sensed a ripple in the air and immediately retreated. Boom! A terrifying giant hand reached out with dragon-like fluctuations. When it reached Su Yan, some of the astral battle array's divine energy was shattered and a terrifying airflow poured down. Shui family, what a good one! Su Yan wasn't afraid. He raised his fist to meet the attack. His overall strength surged as he channeled the Big Dipper fist and punched forward. However, the attacker's strength was too monstrous. His divine energy was exuberant and peerless. Su Yan's entire fist was bleeding as he staggered back. A ninth heavenly layer transcendence realm expert. Su Yan's expression didn't change. He didn't expect an old monster to be hiding in his storage pouch. Now, he had come out and was staring at Su Yan with a sinister gaze. "Evil creature, you dare to attack my Shui family's auction? Are you not afraid of dying without a burial ground?" This old cultivator's expression was cold. He was a famous member of the Shui family and was only one step away from comprehending the Grand Tao. His status in the Shui family was very high, and he was also the fourth elder of the Shui family. "The one dying now is you." Su Yan rushed forward and swung his fist towards the fourth elder of the Shui family. "Evil creature, you dare to attack me?" The fourth elder of the Shui family sneered. He reached out again and channeled the dragon-capturing hand towards Su Yan. Boom! Just as Su Yan swooped down, a vast amount of starlight fell from the high platform of the auction house. The starlight condensed into a constellation that surrounded Su Yan. For a moment, his aura was so powerful that it shocked the world. Not good. The fourth elder of the Shui family's expression was ugly. He had underestimated the star's formation. The star's formation could even suppress a prodigy, let alone him. Boom! This time, when Su Yan used the Big Dipper fist, it was extremely fierce and tyrannical. Su Yan's entire fist was like a condensed star in the universe, rippling with an endless, terrifying aura. The moment it smashed forward, even the dragon-capturing hand cracked. The fourth elder of the Shui family let out a blood-curdling scream as his entire arm was pierced through. He was a cultivator at the peak of the Transcendence realm, much stronger than a Sixth Firmament realm cultivator. But now, not only was he unable to suppress Su Yan, he was also heavily injured by him. A river of blood was flowing in the auction hall. More than 10 prodigies attacked together, but they still couldn't break through the blockade of the young Dragon King's group. They were all enraged. Relying on a formation, they had actually been trapped for such a long time. If Su Yan really completed his robbery, they would lose a lot of face. Too ruthless. Many people were watching the battle, and their hearts were filled with cold air. One had to admit that the star's formation was powerful. It suppressed the godly energy in everyone's body and prevented them from exerting their full strength. Otherwise, How could the young Dragon King's group stop Zhu Xing and the other prodigies? On the high platform, Su Yan's aura was frightening. He was like a mad golden lion. The power of a true dragon erupted from his body and swept in all directions. The cultivators who rushed towards the high platform were sent flying and fell to the ground, coughing up blood. It's Su Yan's group. Cries of alarm resounded throughout Big Dipper City. The entire Shui family's mansion was covered by the stars formation, but they could still see the rivers of blood flowing in the Shui family's mansion. The craziest one was Su Yin, who was slaughtering everywhere. He controlled a part of the stars formation's power and killed in all directions. The high platform was dyed red with blood, as if it was hell on earth. It's coming from the direction of Big Dipper City. The awakened formation should be the stars formation. At this moment, Shueguan's group had already rushed out of the Silver Passage. They were heading towards Big Dipper City when they saw a strange phenomenon erupting from a corner of the city. Their expressions changed immediately. Not good. It's coming from the direction of our Shui family's mansion. An old man of the Shui family lost control and roared. Something happened at the auction. Let's go back quickly. What? Did the prodigies from the outer realms attack the auction while we were away? Chapter 268. This group of youngsters really don't mind the trouble. They even dare to rob an auction. When I was young, I didn't even dare to think about it. Outside the Star Tomb, the experts from various races sat cross-legged in the void. Kong Ao muttered in his heart. After all, this was an auction. What they did was tantamount to committing a heinous crime. Perhaps other experts would follow suit. The experts from various races were also amazed. Their expressions were strange, and they didn't know what to say. After all, this was an auction organized by Shueguan. Geniuses gathered like clouds, and guests were as numerous as clouds. However, Su Yin and the others dared to mess with the local tyrant. This Su Yin is really audacious. I wonder which ancestor of the Big Dipper lineage's disciple he is? Some old experts were curious. They felt that this dark horse was too strange. First of all, his cultivation speed was shocking enough. He even obtained the inheritance of the mystic sect. His future achievements were limitless. Unfortunately, his cultivation level is too low. It's difficult to compete with Shueguan. Someone sighed slightly. Shueguan is really heaven-defying. He has already suppressed all the geniuses in the Big Dipper starfield. I think only Su Yin has some hope now. However, his cultivation level is too low. Damn it. The Shui family head stretched out his trembling hand and clutched his heart. His heart ached terribly. His eyes were red and purple. One could see the anger in his heart. The entire Shui family was furious. The auction was destroyed, and Su Yin came to destroy it. If he really succeeded, Shueguan would lose all face and suffer great losses. At this moment, Shueguan's official residence was full of broken walls and ruins. The majestic halls of the residence had collapsed one by one and were already in ruins. Kill. Zhu Xing and the other geniuses used all their strength. However, no matter how strong they were, facing the stars in the sky and the power of the Milky Way, it was as if they were all locked in the Milky Way. Their strength was greatly suppressed. Bastard. Zhu Xing was extremely angry. This star formation was too powerful. It locked the entire Shui family's official residence and suppressed all living creatures' battle power. Awesome. This is really awesome. Young Dragon King and the others laughed. The three of them had joined forces to block the attacks of more than 10 geniuses. It was all because of the constellation formation. Of course, the most stunning performance was Su Yin. After all, he was a mystical sect master and could borrow a portion of the astral battle formation's energy. His battle prowess was unimaginably powerful. Bang! The stage of the auction house had caved in. Blood flowed down, and miserable cries rang out incessantly. Su Yin, you will suffer retribution. You're using your strength to suppress the weak. What kind of ability is that? If you have the ability, fight with the champion of my race. Many people roared in fear. Their hair was disheveled, and some of them didn't even dare to charge forward. Too much blood had been spilled today. Now you know how to bully the weak with your strength? Is there no one else in the Shui family other than Shuiguan? Su Yin applied, for a callous expression. His hair danced in the wind as he shouted. Divine light gushed out and engulfed all directions. No, a group of Shui family cultivators who were bitterly holding on let out shrill cries. They were filled with unwillingness and anger as Su Yan's roar shattered their bodies and turned them into minced meat. It was as if a gust of cold wind had swept past. However, all the cultivators who witnessed this scene trembled in fear. This was just too vicious. He didn't leave any way out at all. You evil creature. The fourth elder of the Shui family was so angry that his eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He was the only one left on a shattered stage. His entire body was covered in blood, and his eyes were filled with anger. He shouted hysterically, "The champion of my race will never forgive you. He will definitely turn you into ashes. You're about to die, yet you still dare to threaten me." A bone-chilling light flashed through Su Yan's eyes. In an instant, he crossed over. It was as if he had turned into a god of war. He pushed the stars one after another towards the fourth elder of the Shui family. Although the fourth elder was a powerful cultivator at the peak of the Transcendence realm, his combat ability had been suppressed to the 6th or 7th layer. How could he not stop Su Yin, who had the help of a killing formation? After several collisions, the fourth elder was beaten until he coughed up blood. He let out a hideous laugh. The blood of the Shui family is already bleeding. I will definitely burn the blood of the champion of my race. I can already see your future. Old man, you can shut up now? Killing intent radiated from Su Yan's body, and he instantly activated the Big Dipper fist. In an instant, a corner of the Big Dipper formation turned into a huge black hole, and countless stars gathered in Su Yan's fist. Boom! It was as if the stars in the universe were manifesting. Terrifying airflow rippled. The moment the fist smashed into the fourth elder of the Shui family, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. His entire body was smashed into pieces. The originally old man's aura was extremely weak. There was even a hole the size of a bowl in his chest. Under everyone's shocked gazes, the fourth elder of the Shui family wanted to finish his sentence. Unfortunately, he didn't have the chance. The fist was filled with destructive qi. His body was instantly torn into pieces. In the end, it disintegrated into nothingness. Shuiguan, the fourth elder of the Shuiguan family, was killed by Su Yin. The spectators were terrified. He was a 9th-layer Transcendence Realm cultivator. The resources needed to cultivate a cultivator of this level were too expensive. Moreover, every 9th-layer Transcendence Realm cultivator had the chance to comprehend the Great Path and become a master of the universe. The Shui family couldn't bear this kind of pain. Su Yin, if the Shui family doesn't kill you, we won't be human. The leader of the Shui family roared angrily. His eyes were bloodshot. This was the fourth elder of the Shui family. In the future, he had the chance to comprehend the Great Path and become an important figure of the Shui family. But now, the fourth elder was killed by Su Yin. He couldn't bear this kind of humiliation and hatred. He looked up to the sky and roared, "I won't be human. If you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. You only have yourself to blame." Xiaohuan shook his head. He was shocked by Su Yan's current combat strength. If he was given another 10 years, he would be incredible. Han Jin was silent. Some of the elders on his side wavered. They didn't want to target Su Yin anymore. If such a genius was cultivated, who would be the honorable Big Dipper? It was hard to say. The Shui family's official residence had become a purgatory. Su Yin took the second storage bag. Su Yin grinned. His harvest was too great. The auction continued for a while. Some treasures were sold, but the most valuable ones hadn't been auctioned yet. Most importantly, the heavenly essence stone was still in the storage bag. This was what Su Yin wanted the most. As long as he had enough foundation to support his cultivation, he could even open his Dharma idol and step into the Dharma idol realm. Only then would he have the qualifications to compete with the various geniuses in the future. Look, the array is weakening. It should be disappearing soon. At that moment, the Shui family's official residence, which had been turned into ruins, emitted a deafening metallic sound. The originally powerful astral battle formation was weakened by a notch. This was because no matter how weak the array was, it couldn't operate continuously. It needed a sufficient foundation. Kill! Zhu Xing and the other geniuses roared together. He slashed out with his blood-colored halberd and split open a corner of the astral array. This also caused the cultivators who were trapped outside to rush in. Their eyes were bloodshot as they crazily rushed toward Su Yan. The array is disappearing. Shueguan and the others should be here. A trace of coldness flashed in Su Yan's eyes. His aura merged with the astral array. He tried his best to suppress the astral array that was about to disintegrate. He also swung his fists, striking out layers of Milky Way power towards the people who were charging in. Every punch had the arrangement of the stars in the universe. Although it wasn't real, the divine power was terrifying. When combined, even Dharma idol cultivators would find it difficult to resist. Su Yan had paid a huge price for this array. It was enough to buy a low-grade divine Tao weapon. If it couldn't even unleash this much power, the array Tao would have disappeared in the long river of history. Charge in. The array is about to collapse. They won't be able to hold on for long. Zhu Xing and the others were furious. They wanted to charge in. This battle had been too frustrating, and there was a ball of fire in their hearts. Now that the astral array was weakening, it wouldn't take long for it to completely disperse. When that time came, they would no longer be restrained. They would definitely be able to suppress Little Dragon King and the others. Boom! All of a sudden, streaks of dazzling blood essence light shot out from the horizon one after another, surging over along the horizon. A corner of Big Dipper City shook. This was an extremely terrifying divine power sweeping over. It was as if 100,000 mountains were arranged here, suffocating all living things. That terrifying life essence was appalling. As it surged, illusory images of dragons and phoenixes appeared. Sovereign Shueguan is here. Many people cried out in surprise. They looked into the distance and saw a golden palm coming from the horizon. It stretched towards Big Dipper City. The golden palm was intertwined with dense patterns of rules. It was surrounded by supreme Tao. When it was released to the extreme, the image of a giant dragon being captured appeared. All living things were horrified. This was a great divine power that came from hundreds of miles away. It had already covered a corner of Big Dipper City and was attacking the Shui family's official residence. This palm was powerful and domineering. It covered the sky and made the sun and moon lose their brilliance. The dragon capturing hand arrived. It bombarded the entire star formation and caused it to tremble. A crack even appeared on this huge formation. Shueguan is too strong. He can attack with such divine power from hundreds of miles away and shake the great killing formation. The cultivators in the city were shaken. They couldn't help but be convinced. Shueguan was indeed terrifying. Even the geniuses from the outer realms had said that he was qualified to contend with the supreme beings of the younger generation. Bang! Big Dipper City's gates rumbled. Shueguan had already rushed over. He waved his hand again, and the power of the dragon-capturing hand gushed out. When he attacked, a part of the star formation sank again. Many of the stars formed from energy exploded. Good, Shueguan is here. Stop them for me. We can't let them escape. Zhu Xing and the others were pleasantly surprised. They found that the star formation's power had weakened greatly. Their recovered battle strength was even stronger. More than 10 geniuses attacked together. Each of their life essence was like a divine furnace. When their Dharma powers combined, it was like a roaring ocean. Mother Asterisk Kerr, Shueguan is here. The Little Dragon King and the other two trembled as they were sent flying one by one. Shueguan is here. Let's leave quickly. We'll be in trouble if they attack us from the inside and outside. It's very likely that we'll be wiped out in one fell swoop. The Cosmic Beast King's expression changed. Once Shueguan discovered their tracks, the forces behind them would bring about an unexpected calamity. Su Yan didn't care at all. Since he dared to come, he naturally had a method to escape. So what if he came? Could he overturn the entire Big Dipper City? Boom! Another deafening explosion resounded, and it spread throughout the entire Big Dipper city. This is Shue Guan's most terrifying battle strength, right? In Big Dipper City, it was as if an immortal furnace was burning. The palm that reached out seemed to be made of gold. It emitted a stream of air that could collapse the dome of the heavens. Some of the old Transcendence Realm cultivators felt a chill run down their spines. They felt as if they were about to disintegrate in the air. Just how strong was this battle strength? The golden palm reached the peak of the dome of the heavens. When it slashed down, it emitted an endless stream of air that opened the Big Dipper array. The Big Dipper array was shattered by Shue Guan's palm. He's too strong. Just what realm is he at? Why do I feel that Shue Guan is even stronger than a true dragon? His magic power is exuberant, and his vitality is as vast as the sea. The Big Dipper Supreme is fully deserving of the title. Can Su Yin still escape? He's still in the Shue family's residence. Big Dipper City was in an uproar. The geniuses from the outer realms all felt the pressure. Shue Guan was extremely strong now and definitely qualified to compete with some of the outer realm supreme beings. As for the limit of his battle strength, perhaps only the supreme beings of the Big Dipper lineage would know. Good. The Shue family head saw this scene and became agitated. He lost control and said, "We must capture them alive and find out who did this. This old man will burn their bones and scatter their ashes." Chapter 269. Bang! The entire Shue family's residence was torn apart. Large groups of cultivators fled in all directions. The might of this palm shocked even the geniuses from the outer realms. What kind of tyrannical combat strength was this? Shue Guan's body had already reached a heaven-defying level. Perhaps he really did have the hidden strength of a supreme being from the various great star domains. Shue Guan's hair draped over his shoulders. His aura suppressed time and space as if he were an emperor inspecting his territory. His posture was peerlessly terrifying, causing all the other cultivators of his generation to pale in comparison. Boom! Shue Guan's fist once again swung down towards the four figures on the high platform. However, just as he attacked, his eyes turned cold. This was because it was another spirit-bewildering array. His heart was burning with anger. It was clear that Su Yin had long since set his sights on the auction. He attacked the silver passageway in order to draw them out. Shue Guan's eyes flashed with cold, killing intent. He had set up an auction with great fanfare. It was one thing for it to be ruined, but a batch of rare treasures had been seized by Su Yin. Of course, Shue Guan didn't care about any of this. However, Su Yin actually had the guts to deal with him. Shue Guan was truly angered. He coldly said, "I am the Grand Big Dipper Supreme. Any traitor shall be punished." Boom! Just as his words fell, killing intent gushed out, and the ruins began to disintegrate. It was a shocking scene. Everyone saw the vault of heaven being propped open as an enormous figure emerged. It was surrounded by an aura that could suppress the world. This was Shue Guan's loud roar. Behind him, a giant shadow appeared. Its roar shook a corner of Big Dipper City, causing the palaces to tremble as if they were about to be torn apart by its roar. A Qilin divine ability. Could it be that Shue Guan has evolved a Qilin Dharma idol? Impossible. If it really is a Qilin Dharma idol, Shue Guan wouldn't have needed to be so secretive. This is a Dharma idol evolved from his great divine ability. Everyone was aghast. This was an extremely rare, great divine ability. The Qilin was a divine beast, a top-notch divine beast. Once it evolved the Qilin Dharma form, it was as if the Qilin divine beast was attacking, and its roar could shake the starry sky. The Qilin was rumored to be extremely terrifying. With a loud roar, even the moons in the universe would fall down. Now, Shue Guan was displaying the Tao and magic of the Qilin lineage. A Qilin was resplendent and blazing, suppressing the world. Its roar shattered the void, causing the blood and energy of the nearby cultivators to roil. Some of them coughed up blood and were sent flying. The crowd of heroes turned pale with fright. Under Shue Guan's madness, he revealed his true strength. The dragon-capturing hand was nothing But when the Cheelant's divine ability erupted, the entire bewildering formation was shattered. Everyone was killed in the air. What a terrifying Shueguan. Could it be that he obtained the inheritance of the Cheelant bloodline? Everyone was shocked as they saw Shueguan raise his foot and stomp down. His entire foot had transformed into a Cheelant's leg, and the shockwaves from his stomp caused the ground to tremble. A huge crack appeared on the street. Could it be that Su Yin escaped underground? Some people were frightened. This was too thorough of a preparation. It meant that Su Yin had been planning this for a long time. He could even think of such a method of escape. Su Yan's group didn't leave this place. Instead, they used the earth overturning formation. This kind of formation was extremely rare. Su Yin had spent a great deal of effort to purchase divine materials to inscribe it. It was also because Su Yin was a third-rank special expert that he could display the earth overturning formation's power to the extreme and travel through the earth. Buzz! Shueguan's eyes burned fiercely as if the heavenly eyes of the great Tao were opening and closing. At this moment, he was like an emperor inspecting his territory and investigating all directions. Very quickly, he saw the formation scars on the ground. Thus, he went crazy and stomped on the ground, causing huge cracks to appear. This was Big Dipper City, and the ground's sturdiness was unimaginable. Now, it was being blasted open by Shueguan, causing the crowd to be speechless. Shueguan was truly world-shocking and peerless. What good Shueguan? Just how many great divine abilities did he grasp? The earth-overturning formation was also twisting. A supreme strength seeped down from above, causing Su Yin to suffocate. If this foot landed on his body, there was no way he could survive. "Let's go," Su Yin shouted in a low voice. The earth-overturning formation's formation scars continuously extended into the earth layer as they retreated rapidly. Rumble! The sky was filled with rubble and clouds as killing intent surged. Shueguan had already torn open the earth. He killed his way in and shattered the earth layer with a roar. He forcefully opened up one passage after another in order to capture Su Yan's group. "Shueguan, I actually want to see how strong your divine strength is. Don't tell me you can tear open the entire Big Dipper City?" The Starry Sky King Beast didn't believe in heresy. The earth layer here was extremely sturdy. If they wanted to tear open the earth layer, they would need to consume a large amount of divine strength. Just like that, layers of earth were torn open. Shueguan didn't seem to know fatigue. His divine strength was inexhaustible. He used his heavenly eye to lock on his Su Yan's group and used the Cheelant's divine ability to open up a large passage underneath the Big Dipper City. Just as Su Yan was about to escape, his expression changed slightly because the dragon totem had quietly started to burn intensely. It seemed to have discovered some treasure ground. It was guiding Su Yan. However, the process was faintly discernible. This meant that the dragon totem couldn't determine what kind of treasure was being nurtured underground. Su Yan turned the earth-overturning formation's formation scars so that Shueguan wouldn't discover the treasure burial ground. Something is not right here. Just as Shueguan was chasing after Su Yan, Saint Ziwei also flew over and followed the passage opened by Shueguan to observe the battle. However, her heavenly eye was a bit shocking. Her eyes turned purple like two concentrated purple seas, blazing and terrifying. Ziwei Heavenly Eye. Ziwei Heavenly Eye was a secret of the Ziwei sect. It was said that once the Heavenly Eye was used, it could see through illusions and observe the situation of heaven and earth. It was said that the Ziwei sect had received the inheritance of the Cheelant sect, and this Ziwei Heavenly Eye was related to the Cheelant sect. Under the observation of Saint Ziwei, there seemed to be millions of strands of true dragon aura emerging from the earth layer, about to shatter the sea of stars. "What?" Saint Ziwei exclaimed. Even the pure fairy was shocked. This light was too shocking, as if a dragon's nest was hidden underneath the Big Dipper City. "Damn it!" Su Yan's face darkened. Shueguan was chasing after him and did not notice that something was wrong with the earth layer. However, he did not expect Saint Ziwei to see through it. He did not know what kind of treasure was buried under the earth. Could it be the treasure under the Big Dipper City? It was definitely not ordinary. Some of the people who followed Shui Guan saw Saintess Z Wei's strange behavior. Some looked into the distance and also felt that something was wrong. What's going on? Shui Guan stopped. His eyes shone with divine light as he looked into the distance. He was shocked. There might be a supreme fortune buried here. Su Yin, if Shui Guan obtains the fortune, just wait and see how I will deal with you. The Cosmic Beast King was flustered and exasperated. Wu Heng was speechless. Who would have thought that there was a land of fortune under the Big Dipper city? If Shui Guan was really lucky enough to find it, who could compete with him? Hearing this, Su Yin shook his head and said, "This kind of fortune is not easy to obtain. Let's leave quickly and make a long-term plan." Even the dragon totem's reaction was very vague. Shui Guan's ability was strong, but could it be stronger than the dragon totem's treasure-seeking technique? Zhu Xing and the others who were chasing after them were all shocked. What kind of fortune would appear? Could it make Shui Guan stop chasing after Su Yin? Incredible. There can't be a fortune under the Big Dipper city, right? I don't know. If there really is, then Shui Guan has profited greatly. He even stopped chasing after Su Yin. This means that the fortune buried below is no small matter. Everyone discussed. If it could make Shui Guan stop chasing after Su Yin, what kind of fortune would it be? Everyone was curious. Rumble. Shui Guan opened up a path. Even he was moved. The closer he was to the treasure, the more he could feel an incomparable aura. It was as if there was a large immortal treasury lying dormant, waiting for him to explore. Bastard, I lost him. Mizar Juzi and the others were still chasing after Su Yin. Unfortunately, they hadn't cultivated enough, and Su Yan's group of 4 had already disappeared without a trace. Even if Shui Guan continued to chase, it would be very difficult for him to catch up to Su Yin. After all, this was Big Dipper City. He could hide in the mud for a long time with the help of the earth overturning formation. Su Yin escaped just like that. Some people were dumbfounded because the commotion was too great. The auction had been plundered and Shui Guan had suffered great losses. The Shui family's 4th elder had also been beaten to death by Su Yin. This matter was too serious. Shui Guan could be said to have taken a big tumble. I think this matter isn't so simple. Shui Guan gave up on Su Yin at this time. Maybe he really did find a great fortune. At that time, he would have to thank Su Yin. Someone said something shocking. What kind of immortal treasury was dug out? Could it be more important than all the resources in the auction? Boom. The mud layer continued to be blasted open. However, it was getting more and more difficult because the mud layer was getting harder and harder. A cultivator from the Shui family screamed. His body was riddled with holes and surrounded by dragon aura. Zhu Xing was shocked and said involuntarily, "Could there be a true dragon's nest here?" Saintess Z Wei nodded slightly. This was very possible. However, as for what kind of fortune there was, they had to dig it out to find out. What? A true dragon's nest? Could it be a great expert from the golden age of Big Dipper? This is a true dragon, a supreme divine beast that was invincible in the same realm as soon as it was born. When the news spread, all the cultivators in Big Dipper City were envious. If there really was a true dragon's nest, then this was a great fortune. Even the experts from the various races who were spectating in the starry sky corner were envious. This fortune was too great. This was the nest of a true dragon. There might be opportunities and treasures left behind by a true dragon inside. No wonder Shui Guan wasn't willing to leave. However, it was too difficult to dig it out. A true dragon's nest? Su Yan's group of 4 had already come out. They were hiding in an inconspicuous corner of Big Dipper City. The news spread from inside the city, made even the Space King beasts envious. A true dragon's nest was something that had never been seen before, especially the little dragon king. His eyes were red. If they could go to the true dragon's nest, perhaps the little dragon king would have a chance to return to his ancestral roots. This was very important to the little dragon king. There's a true dragon's nest below? Su Yin was speechless. He then shook his head. It shouldn't be that easy to enter. Otherwise, the dragon totem would have rushed over already. Whatever, let Shui Guan and the others busy themselves first. If there really is a true dragon's nest, Shui Guan won't be able to take it all for himself. Wu Heng snorted. They quickly gathered and found a place to stay. Chapter 270. The four of them sneakily pushed open the door and went in. Each of them rubbed their hands and laughed mischievously. They couldn't help but be excited. After all, the harvest was too great. Shui Guan organized the auction, and the treasures that were taken out must be some of the treasures inside. Suyin took out 2 storage pouches. One of them stored the heavenly essence stones, and the other stored the treasures that hadn't been auctioned yet. What a pity. If we weren't late, our harvest would be even greater. Young Dragon King said, unsatisfied. Hearing this, Wu Heng laughed and said, the treasures that were auctioned at the beginning weren't particularly valuable. Anyway, we already got a portion of the heavenly essence stones. The harvest has already exceeded my expectations. The key is that Shui Guan suffered a great loss. Haha, I want to laugh when I think of his expression. Young Dragon King said, let's see if there are any rare items. Suyin took the lead and took out the heavenly essence stone pouch. The 4 of them extended their divine senses to observe. There were more than 5,000 kilograms of heavenly essence stones inside. Although they were also people who had seen great waves, this unexpected wealth made them pleasantly surprised. I have a suggestion. Young Dragon King was silent for a moment and said, I say, Brother Suyin spent a lot of money to buy all kinds of array discs. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to escape unscathed. I suggest that Brother Suyin take a portion of the heavenly essence stones first. No problem. Wu Heng nodded and said, I have cultivated to this stage, and the heavenly essence stones are no longer useful to us. Brother Suyin spent the most this time. What do you think, Brother Kong? The Void Beast King snorted. It didn't say anything, which meant that it had tacitly agreed. Suyin didn't hold back and said directly, if you guys want me to take it, then I won't hold back. Just the array discs alone cost nearly 1,500 kilograms of heavenly essence stones. As for the astral array, let's forget about it. How about this? I will take 2,000 kilograms of heavenly essence stones, and everyone will share the rest equally. Wu Heng and the others nodded. The astral array was the most important array. It was refined by Suyin, so the cost was greatly reduced. Suyin's face was full of smiles as he took 2,000 kilograms of heavenly essence stones. Of course, he didn't care about the heavenly essence stones now. What he cared about was the treasures. Buzz. After the other storage pouch was opened, the entire residence was filled with clouds and rosy clouds. Precious light shot out in all directions, piercing through the clouds. Wu Heng immediately took action and suppressed the phenomenon emitted by these precious treasures. Then they began to open their eyes wide to observe. There were many rare treasures in the storage bag. Most of them were ancient artifacts, and most of them were unearthed from the Big Dipper star. Unfortunately, after a long period of time, the divinity contained within many artifacts had been greatly damaged, and they required an expert to refine them again in order to bring out their proper effects. However, these artifacts were definitely not ordinary objects. Some of the terrifying auras even gave birth to Dao runes. Good heavens, there's a batch of divine Dao soldiers. Even Wu Heng was shocked. Out of the 16 artifacts, 6 of them had produced Dao patterns. This made them gasp. They had really struck it rich this time. After such a long period of time, there were still traces of Dao left on the Dao weapon. Although they were a little blurry, they could still be used. There were none that were too valuable. Although they were all ordinary Dao weapons, the value of the 6 Dao weapons was difficult to measure. If they could replenish the divine power that they had lost, their value would be very high. First, they divided the rest of the artifacts equally. They were not interested in these things. As for the 6 artifacts, Suyin took a liking to a battle armor. I want this thing. I don't want the rest of the Dao weapons. What do you think? Suyin looked at a silver-white battle armor. The ancient battle armor was densely covered with Dao runes. Although the Dao power intertwined with it was weak, this thing was not to be underestimated. Wu Heng and the rest did not compete with Suyin. This battle armor was one of the most valuable Dao weapons. If he wore it, Even a ninth heaven transcendence realm cultivator would find it difficult to injure him. In the Big Dipper star, this thing's effect on the starry sky beast kings was greatly reduced. Then I won't stand on ceremony. Su Yin smiled. He put on the silver battle armor. As it was an ownerless item, he directly took control of the silver battle armor. What moved Wu Hong and the rest was that the silver battle armor actually glowed on its own. It spewed out starlight and made clanging sounds. It seemed to have shed its ancient charm. Its entire body was bright and resplendent. Vast starry aura gushed out from it. This is the starry sky battle armor. The starry sky beast king's face darkened. This thing was a little precious. It was a special kind of secret treasure. Its status in the Big Dipper Star clan was not to be underestimated because it was the famous artifact of the Big Dipper Star clan. Brother Su Yin, you've really struck gold. I know this starry sky battle armor. It was an ancient battle armor that Han Tong dug out. I didn't expect it to fall into your hands. Young Dragon King smiled and said, this treasure belongs to the Big Dipper Star clan. It's returned to its rightful owner. Su Yin tried it. He realized that his entire body had merged with the silver battle armor. Boom! Su Yin's body vibrated with lightning speed. Layers of vast divine power filled the void and distorted it. He was startled and pleasantly surprised. What a mystical battle armor! Su Yin said, this battle armor made my battle prowess soar. I can unleash even more powerful physical strength. Moreover, Su Yin realized that the battle armor could merge with the body. This moved him. This was a little shocking. As expected of the Big Dipper Star clan's Kuei Bao, it was actually very suitable for the human body to fight. It's a little similar to a physical weapon. Wu Hong nodded and said, this thing is really out of the ordinary. It's a weapon of war. If it wasn't for the loss of too much divine power, its value would be astonishing. It could be considered a top-notch divine weapon. Su Yan's eyes shone with extraordinary splendor. He wondered if the broken treasure cauldron could restore the divine power contained within. They counted their gains and became more and more shocked. That was because there were too many good things. There were all kinds of spirit pills, great medicines, and rare ancient medicines. There were even many divine abilities and secret techniques. There were even 3 precious divine ability manuscripts. All of them were ancient objects and belonged to a top-notch divine ability from ancient times. Su Yin and the rest really didn't care about these things. They were all taken away by young Dragon King. It's the Earth origin fruit. Unfortunately, there's only one. A treasured fruit that was overflowing with light and vibrant colors was gushing with exuberant life essence. This treasured fruit belonged to the nourishing category. It was a heavenly treasure nurtured by the earth. Its value was very high, and it could even have the effect of prolonging one's life. Su Yin thought for a while and shook his head. He gave the earth origin fruit to young Dragon King. Although this thing had a certain effect on breaking through to the law phase realm, Su Yin felt that this thing wasn't particularly helpful to him. Many thanks, brothers. Young Dragon King smiled gratefully. His father could use the earth origin fruit. It should be able to extend his life by 40 to 50 years and recover some of his lost blood essence. Everyone, don't be so courteous. We're all going through thick and thin together. We can't let some treasures affect our harmony. Su Yin, look, there are a lot of materials here. You can take some of them and treat it as financial support. Rumor has it that at the moment when the mystical sex experts are powerful, they can preach Tao in the starry sky. Wu Hong said with great interest, they can carve a super powerful formation to trap and kill powerful enemies. Maybe one day you can cultivate to this step. It's very difficult. Su Yin chuckled and said, I really need these materials. I'll take some of them and take less of the rest of the treasures. A large pile of precious refining materials rolled down. There were at least 40 to 50 kilograms of divine materials. The value was a little shocking. However, Wu Hong and the others really didn't need these things. Su Yin needed them because they could be used to carve some ancient formation discs. Su Yin didn't show any mercy. He took the lead and took some of the divine materials that could be used to refine the starry sky. Immediately, Su Yin was slightly stunned. The dragon totem guided him to a jet-black stone material the size of a human head. This stone looked like a piece of black divine iron. Suyin also took this item. He took a portion of the divine materials and divided the rest equally among them. After all, some of the divine materials could be refined into rare dawn and were very valuable. Let's take a look at the treasures in the finale. Young Dragon King and the others were looking forward to it. There weren't many things left in the storage pouch. When an item fell from the sky, a peerless sharp aura immediately pervaded the air, causing the entire residence to darken. What kind of treasure is this? Su Yan's pupils suddenly shrank. He had a feeling of being chopped into pieces. When this item appeared, the entire residence was about to collapse. Even someone as powerful as Wu Hong could feel the peerless sharp aura covering his treasured body. It was about to shatter his flesh. Boom! This was a treasure blade that fell from the sky. Its entire body was jet black and filled with a bitter aura. It must have drunk the blood of a universe expert. The black treasure blade was filled with a kind of terrifying aura. However, it was a pity that there were some cracks on the blade. It was very obvious that this treasure blade had been damaged before. Otherwise, Shueguan wouldn't have taken it out for auction. My goodness, this can really be considered a top-notch divine weapon. Young Dragon King sucked in a breath of cold air and said, if it was complete, its value wouldn't be inferior to Zhu Xing's blood-colored great halberd. The Starry Sky Beast King nodded. This item was very precious. Even if a part of it was shattered, it was still worth paying a great price to ask a Grandmaster blacksmith to repair it. Wu Hong and the Starry Sky Beast King expressed that they could let them have it. Young Dragon King was very tempted. He lacked a suitable weapon, but they didn't rush to make a decision. They wanted to see what other treasures were there. The next treasure made young Dragon King and the others surprised. It was a simple and unadorned slate. It seemed to be a slate used to record divine abilities. The slate was filled with the aura of time. It was impossible to determine how long it had existed. On the ancient slate, a picture of a lofty mountain was engraved. The picture was carved with bizarre characters. It was shaped like a true dragon, Qilin, black tortoise. These characters were very special. They contained a special kind of power. However, they couldn't see anything different from the slate. This made the Starry Sky Beast King and the others frown. What kind of treasure was this? It didn't look like a divine ability. But if it wasn't a divine ability, then what was it? Brother Su Yan, could it be? Wu Hong noticed that Su Yan was staring at the characters on the slate and carefully observing them. He speculated that it might be some kind of shocking, secret technique. Su Yan's face overflowed with a smile as he said, this is a secret technique from the Strange Gate. A secret technique from the Strange Gate? No wonder we couldn't see any clues. Young Dragon King and the others immediately lost interest. They didn't understand this domain. That's right. The more Su Yan looked at it, the more shocked he was. He said, this secret technique is very suitable for me. Haha, it's useless to us. Wu Hong said, young Dragon King, it just so happens that you need this weapon. I think Brother Su Yan wants the slate and you want the saber. Of course. Young Dragon King nodded. He was already very lucky to be able to get this treasure. After all, he got it out of thin air. Although this thing couldn't be exposed, it could be used to save his life at a critical moment. Su Yan received the slate. He was very excited. This secret technique was very suitable for him. If he could cultivate it to the great accomplishment realm, he would definitely be able to display a super powerful combat strength in a special area. Let's see what other treasures are there. They should be the finale items. I reckon they aren't simple. The Starry Sky Beast King tore open the storage pouch. For a moment, auspicious light burst out and divine aura spread out. It was as if a divine treasure was born. It sprinkled down monstrous life essence accompanied by divine aura. The moment it came out, there was a rumbling sound. The whole residence was filled with the aura of the great Tao. It was as if a person who had achieved the Tao was explaining the Tao here. This, Chapter 271. A Saint Medicine has been lost at the auction. A piece of news suddenly spread like wildfire throughout Big Dipper City, causing all the heavenly geniuses to gasp and almost fall to the ground. What kind of joke is this? Someone immediately denied it and shouted, "Auction of a saint medicine? Who spread this fake news? Saint medicines only appear at top-level auctions, and their prices are astronomical. How could a saint medicine appear at Shui Guan's auction? It's impossible even for a king medicine." This matter caused an uproar, and many people simply couldn't believe it. How could Shui Guan take out a saint medicine and auction it? Saint medicines were more precious than king medicines and were priceless items. They were the most precious treasures of all the superpowers and simply couldn't be sold. However, some people still believed it because this news wasn't groundless. A core member of the Shui family had accidentally let it slip. How long? At night, the Shui family's residence was filled with a terrifying killing intent. It was as if a demon god was awakening, filling the air with a world-shocking murderous intent that spread throughout the entire Big Dipper city. What's going on? Isn't Shui Guan opening up an ancient underground cave? Those who were paying attention to this matter were all alarmed. It was suspected that a true dragon nest had appeared, and cultivators from all over the world returned to Big Dipper City to anxiously await the results of this matter. After all, this was related to a true dragon's nest, and a shocking opportunity was right in front of them. However, the atmosphere in Big Dipper City was stifling. As soon as the news spread, it caused a huge storm. It's true. Shui Guan took out a saint medicine. Of course, it wasn't a complete saint medicine, but rather a quasi-saint medicine. It was still a few years away from evolving into a saint medicine, and has the potential to evolve. A quasi-saint medicine was lost at an auction? What kind of joke is this? This matter was too explosive, and even the heavenly geniuses from outside the realm were speechless. A quasi-saint medicine was lost? Shui Guan's heart ached so much that it almost killed him. This matter was too big and difficult to hide. The Shui family cultivators were about to explode from anger. The quasi-saint medicine was lost because of a mistake, and very few people knew where Shui Guan had obtained it. However, the quasi-saint medicine had indeed been lost. Shui Guan unexpectedly obtained a quasi-holy medicine. He is preparing to send the clan's chief elder to deliver it to the Shui family. Those who received this news all had goosebumps. Shui Guan only found out afterwards that the quasi-saint medicine had been lost in the hands of the elder in charge of the auction. This is heaven-defying. Su Yan has snatched away a quasi-holy medicine. I'm willing to buy the sage-to-be medicine for 10,000 kilograms of heavenly essence stones. Brother Su Yan, we don't have any grudges against each other. You're still too far away from enlightenment. Why don't you sell it to me now? The divine son of 9 sons made a prompt decision and asked for the sage-to-be medicine. The quasi-divine medicine is priceless and cannot be measured with money. Moreover, 10,000 gene of heavenly essence stones is not enough. Shui Guan suffered a huge loss. He even lost the quasi-saint medicine. If the quasi-saint medicine was born, it would be a saint medicine. It would be a rare treasure that even the divine king would be jealous of. The entire Big Dipper city was in an uproar. Su Yan's name resounded throughout the vast Big Dipper. After all, this was related to the quasi-saint medicine. He had robbed the Shui family's auction. The quasi-saint medicine would definitely fall into their hands. Big Dipper City was in an uproar. A suffocating pressure spread everywhere. Some geniuses were jealous and were searching for Su Yan's traces. The quasi-saint medicine is lost. According to the information they deciphered from the cosmic edge, the Shui family's head couldn't accept it. He was so angry that he almost fainted. That was a quasi-saint medicine. The entire Shui family didn't have any. Such a peerless treasure was lost just like that. Su Yan. Han Jin was so jealous that his eyes turned purple. If he could get a quasi-saint medicine, he would have a great chance of comprehending the great Tao. By then, he wouldn't have to fear Bamboo Moon. Send my order. Take the quasi-saint medicine away at all costs. Find him. Find Su Yan even if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground. Find out who did it. Han Jin was almost gnashing his teeth as he roared. The quasi-saint medicine's value was too terrifying. Even someone as powerful as him was jealous. If he could get it, He might become the Star Lord of the Big Dipper clan. At that time, he would be able to call the wind and summon the rain, the lost quasi-saint medicine. Right now, it was floating in front of Su Yin and the others. They stared at it with wide eyes, feeling as if they were seeing things. Motherf asterisk Kerr. Su Yin was given a fright. He pointed at the quasi-saint medicine floating in the air and sucked in a breath of cold air. A quasi-saint medicine? Why would a quasi-saint medicine appear in an auction? This quasi-saint medicine seemed to be refined from a river of stars. It was bathed in divine essence and was surrounded by thousands of strands of starry light. It seemed to be rooted on a star and had 3 leaves. Each leaf gave birth to natural Tao marks. The leaves even supported stars one after another. Each star was shaped like a person sitting on a leaf and chanting Tao sounds. The 3 leaves were all different. They were chanting Tao sounds and describing the mysteries of the starry sky. This quasi-saint medicine seemed to be a star flower nurtured by the great Tao. It had 3 leaves, and each leaf was hazy with the luster of a sea of stars. It was chanting Tao sounds. The 4 of them swallowed their saliva. They had profited greatly. Just this stock of quasi-divine medicine was worth all of their gains. A 30,000-year-old quasi-saint medicine. If it can grow to 70,000 years old, it will be a saint medicine. The Starry Sky King roared with red eyes. This is a priceless item. My clan has a 7-leaf star flower, but even the old ancestor couldn't bear to swallow it. He watched as his lifespan ran out and still didn't want to swallow it. Saint medicine could extend one's lifespan and restore declining essence blood. Wu Hung understood. Their Wu clan also had one, but the old ancestor who had passed away couldn't bear to use it. This was because the star flower contained the power of the great Tao and could help others comprehend the Tao. It could give a clan a peerless foundation. They pricked up their ears and listened. The discussion outside made them laugh. Because of an accident, they lost a quasi-saint medicine. Shuiguan was extremely angry. He was waiting for the auction to end so that the clan elders could transport the resources back. Who knew that someone would dare to attack the auction? What should we do with this quasi-saint medicine? The 4 of them breathed heavily. Who didn't want it? Who would give it up? Wu Hung frowned and exchanged a look with the young Dragon King. Then, they looked at Su Yin and the Beast King of the Astral World. One was a Big Dipper chosen one, and the other was a Beast King of the Astral World. This 3-leaf star flower would be of great help to them. I can give up the star flower. Anyway, I got the inheritance of the Mystic Gate. Su Yin thought for a while and shook his head. He was still far from comprehending the Tao. Besides, the star flower might not be suitable for him. Both of us got good things. What about the 2 of you? The young Dragon King's words made Wu Hung smile bitterly. The star flower is not very useful to me. Although it was useless, who was willing to give it up? They could trade it. This thing is indeed useful to me. The Starry Sky King blushed. It had a handsome appearance that was neither male nor female. At this moment, it looked like a delicate beauty. Su Yin muttered in his heart, "It can't be a female, right?" It lowered its head and pondered. Soon, it said, "If you are willing to give it up, I can take out the Divine King's precious blood." Divine King's precious blood. Wu Hung and the others were moved. This was also a priceless item. Every drop could only be found by chance. That's right. The clan originally prepared for me to refine the Divine King's precious blood and comprehend the great Tao. At this point, the little Dragon King and Su Yin were speechless. Great families were truly great families. They were so extravagant that they would try to comprehend the Tao fruit fragment contained within the God King's treasure blood. Needless to say, they could guess that it was definitely the God King's treasure blood of the Star Beasts. How about this? Give Wu Hung 2 drops of the Divine King's precious blood, 1 for each of you. Every drop of the Divine King's precious blood contained endless life essence. It was rumored that a single drop of the Divine King's precious blood could crush a mountain ridge. The quasi-divine medicine was priceless. The Divine King's precious blood was also priceless. Seeing that they all agreed, the Starry Sky King was extremely excited. It carefully sealed the quasi-divine medicine and solemnly said, "I will bring this quasi-divine medicine back to the clan and see if it can increase its strength and nurture the fourth flower. As for the divine king's precious blood, I will also bring it back." Su Yin and the others did not have any objections. In any case, they were all in the same boat. If this matter was spread out, it would not benefit them in the slightest. The young Dragon King was looking forward to it. He was born with a powerful body. If he could obtain a drop of the divine king's precious blood, his fighting strength would increase by a level. At that time, he would not lose so miserably when facing Shuiguan. As for Su Yin, he went into seclusion and began to comprehend the secret technique inheritance of the occult gate. An entire night passed. Big Dipper City was surging with undercurrents. However, what use was there in the Shui family's anger? They simply could not find any trace of Su Yin. The quasi-divine medicine had flown away just like that. Han Tong and the others were also flustered and exasperated. They had taken out some treasures to auction off, but now, not a single one of them was left. Just thinking about it made them incomparably angry. Shuiguan has gone to open up another underground cave. It seems like the ancient cave's good fortune is even more astonishing than the quasi-divine medicine. Otherwise, Shuiguan would definitely have immediately dispatched people to chase after Su Yin. Big Dipper City was bustling with noise and excitement. Beneath Big Dipper City, there seemed to be a true dragon's nest. This attracted a lot of attention. Right now, it was still in the opening stage. There were many geniuses from outside the realm who expressed their desire to participate. With the arrival of so many outstanding heroes, no matter how powerful Shuiguan was, he had no choice but to concede. He joined forces with these outstanding heroes to open up an underground cave. I wonder if it's a true dragon's nest? Su Yin would go out from time to observe. He speculated that it would take a lot of time to open the true dragon's nest. Because the true dragon's nest was in a closed state all year round, the ancient cave was covered with rocks. After a long time, these rocks had become extremely hard. What kind of treasure is hidden in this rock? Su Yin hugged a rock the size of a human head. The jet black rock attracted the attention of the dragon totem. Su Yin squeezed it hard and found that the rock was too hard. He scratched his head and pondered for a while. Then, he took out his life cauldron and began to wildly smash the rock. Bang! Bang! One after another, even the sturdy boulders couldn't hold on any longer and gradually shattered. After it shattered, Su Yan's expression changed. He suddenly exerted force and broke open the big rock. What is this? Su Yin was surprised. In the rock, it looked like a small stone dragon. It was simple and unadorned. Su Yin held in his hand and waited. He secretly said, "I thought it was a natural treasure. It turns out that it's just a rock. There must be treasure liquid inside this stone dragon. Open it." Su Yin suddenly exerted force and crushed the small stone dragon. Bang! The cracked stone dragon suddenly surged with divine light. It was as if a silver dragon flew out. It was filled with the aura of a true dragon and lingered with supreme divine might. True dragon chi. Su Yan's expression changed in shock. He suddenly opened his mouth and swallowed, forcefully swallowing this true dragon chi into his stomach. Buzz! Su Yan's flesh shell was blazing brightly, as if he had eaten a great tonic. His entire body was released to the peak level. When the true dragon chi and Su Yan's body merged into one, his body shone with divine light, containing a terrifying aura. Because of the sudden increase in primitive power, Su Yan's physique was also nourished. A terrifying supreme aura surged. There's one more chapter tonight to make up for yesterday's missing chapter. Chapter 272. The true dragon chi entering his body was a great supplement for Su Yin. His physique was naturally lacking in various precious substances, making up for his deficiencies. Su Yin's entire body glowed as his organs resonated. His bones moved rhythmically, filled with a terrifying sense of power. His entire body was shrouded in brilliant light. The true dragon chi and Su Yin had merged into one, making up for some of the deficiencies in his physique. As a result, the primordial strength he had unearthed increased by a large margin. At that moment, Su Yan's divine power was exuberant. His body's divine power was strengthened, but after the strengthening, Su Yan's body was faintly intertwined with divine power. Oh no! Su Yan instantly closed all the pores on his body and circulated the Inception Sutra to suppress the restless divine power in his body. He still couldn't step into the Dharma phase realm. His body and life spring had to be in perfect condition to support the divine power in his body and evolve into a Dharma phase. However, at that moment, a blurry, chaotic sea rose behind Su Yan. It was vast and majestic, but it was very blurry. It seemed to faintly reveal a corner that covered a space. This blurry, chaotic sea seemed to exist in a unique space that belonged exclusively to Su Yan. This was a pressure that originated from his physique. It was a phenomenon, a type of divine power. What was a physique phenomenon? It was difficult for the old antiques to explain. Some said it was brought about by the heavenly art, while others said it was related to bloodline. However, everyone knew that when one's physique was unearthed to the extreme, the divine power born would be exceptionally shocking. In the past, Tai Baokai had manifested the Dharma phase, the golden iron bull, or the immortal phoenix. It seemed that Tai Baokai had such a bloodline, or rather, it was related to the heavenly art that Tai Baokai cultivated. The human body's potential was limitless. Unearth it to the extreme? It was too difficult. However, Su Yan had almost stepped into the Dharma phase realm this time. The chaotic sea that his body manifested was somewhat different. Boom! The world shook as a terrifying aura filled the air. What was this? Su Yan was shocked. His physique phenomenon seemed to have turned into a real image. This was especially important. This meant that the Dharma idol that Su Yan would force out in the future was very likely to be the manifestation of his physique. This was a sea of chaos. The sea of primal chaos was faintly becoming clearer. It was ancient and mysterious as it appeared behind Su Yan. It was hazy, and its end couldn't be found. The fluctuations of time coiled around it as it pierced through space. It was shaking, faintly showing signs of coming into being. What's that? Su Yan's eyes widened. Something different was born in the sea of chaos. It was as if there were gods floating in the chaos. They couldn't be seen clearly, as if there were ancient immortals standing in the chaos. In the next moment, Su Yan was dumbfounded. A sea of primal chaos. This was a phenomenon that didn't seem to exist in this world. It was like a Tao temple where gods resided, or a vast primal chaos wasteland where the imprints of gods existed. The imprint was especially unreal, like a projection that was reflected in the primal chaos. However, Su Yan felt a headache coming on. He discovered that at the end of the chaos, there was a massive coffin. The coffin was huge and as heavy as an abyss, as if the immortal spirits of the heavens were buried in it. It lay at the end of the primal chaos, motionless. Its might was grand and unfathomable. The imprints of gods stood in the primal chaos, facing the coffin as if they were worshipping it. Su Yan was horrified, and goosebumps appeared all over his body. What kind of coffin was this? What was inside the coffin? He suddenly recalled the dragon coffin in the snow mountain. However, the dragon coffin didn't have a coffin. Could this coffin be related to the dragon coffin? What exactly is my physique phenomenon? Su Yan pondered and then thought to himself, perhaps when I step into the Dharma idol realm and force out my Dharma idol, I'll be able to see the true appearance of some physiques. True dragon chi is too precious. I wonder where I can find it. Su Yan pondered in his heart. Then he had a flash of inspiration. Could there be such things in the true dragon's nest? Wong. There was a strange sound. Su Yan looked at the broken cauldron. The cauldron had refined a batch of materials related to the astral elixir. The astral armor floating above the cauldron was beginning to recover under the nourishment of the cauldron. This made Su Yan pleasantly surprised. As expected, the broken cauldron was priceless. It could replenish the depletion of weapons. In this way, the astral armor's value was terrifying. However, it couldn't replenish the dimmed Tao marks. However, In the current environment of Big Dipper, the astral armor was of great help to Su Yin. After 3 days, the astral armor was completed. Su Yin wore it and couldn't help but be surprised. The astral armor contained abundant divine energy. Due to the special effect of the armor, his body and the armor became one. His body was filled with surging divine energy. Su Yan's aura surged and rushed to the transcendence realm. This made him laugh loudly. What a good astral armor. As expected of a rare treasure. It can increase my combat strength. Such a secret treasure is truly rare. Although the astral armor's divine energy would be depleted after a period of use, Su Yin had the broken cauldron and could replenish it. He didn't need to ask an expert to help him recover the astral armor's depletion. In these few days, Big Dipper City was in an uproar. It wasn't peaceful at all. Shueguan and the others have been excavating the ancient underground cave. Large amounts of rocks were dug out every day. Because the rocks were too hard, it was equivalent to excavating a divine mine. Therefore, it was impossible to open the ancient cave in just a few days. It seems like it will still take some time. I wonder how the Baokai is doing. Su Yin left Big Dipper City and made a trip to the Thunder region. The Tai Baokai had been waiting here. It used the golden bamboo to absorb lightning and strengthen its natal treasure. It had even plucked a lot of lightning grass. Its cultivation progress was astonishing. This bamboo, Su Yin was shocked. The growth of the golden bamboo was much faster than he had imagined. The bamboo seemed to have turned into an evil warding divine bamboo. Its entire body was intertwined with golden arcs of lightning. It was extremely domineering. Even the bamboo spewed out large amounts of golden lightning. Its destructive power was astonishing. The bamboo had transformed. The Tai Baokai grinned sinisterly. Just wait and see. Give me some time, and I will be able to enter the Thunder Pool. At that time, I will definitely enter the Transcendence Realm. All right, then you stay here. Dig out the Thunder Pool as soon as possible. I have to make a trip to the True Dragon's Lair. Su Yin didn't stay here for long. When he returned to Big Dipper City, the Astral Beast King had returned. The four of them met again. The Astral Beast King's words were shocking. It said that the Astral Beasts would use all their resources to cultivate astral flowers. They would try their best to cultivate 5 astral flowers. 1 astral flower needed 10,000 years. If they wanted to speed it up, they would have to use up a large amount of heavenly treasures. The price was not something an ordinary force could bear. The Astral Beasts were prepared to use all their resources. After all, the Astral Beast King had the qualifications to evolve into the strongest divine beast in the future. Once that day came, perhaps the Astral Beast King would have the qualifications to dominate the major star fields and step onto the path of a supreme youth. This is the Divine King's precious blood. Su Yin was filled with anticipation as he received the jar from the Astral Beast King. After opening it, the exuberant blood essence and the terrifying aura of the Divine King tore through the sky like millions of lightning bolts. What a terrifying Divine King's precious blood. If I use it now, my body might explode. Just how strong is the Divine King? Su Yin was speechless and quickly sealed the precious blood. This was the precious blood of the Divine King of the Astral Beasts. It was a rare medicine. Su Yin was going to keep it. It would definitely be of great use to him in the future. I'll refine a part of it first and cultivate in seclusion for a few days. Little Dragon King was overjoyed. He directly chose to cultivate in seclusion to refine the precious blood of the Divine King and strengthen his foundation. Time passed day by day. The atmosphere in Big Dipper City was a bit tense. There was news that if the true dragon's nest was really dug out, Shueguan and the other geniuses who worked together to open the dragon's nest would not open it. This made some geniuses unhappy. The Divine Son of 9 Sons teamed up with a group of people and prepared to follow Su Yan's example and cause trouble. Cause trouble? I like to see how you're going to cause trouble. My brother has teamed up with so many geniuses to kill all the outsiders. Leave no one alive. Shuelong was so angry that his face turned green. The quasi-divine medicine was lost just like that. If there were no accidents, this quasi-divine medicine was very likely to be used on him. Shuelong gritted his teeth at the thought of this. He hated Su Yin to the bone and wanted to eat his flesh and blood. I feel suffocated, as if a giant monster is going to come out. Could there be a living creature in the dragon's nest? Another day and night, an oppressive, ancient aura spread out and covered the entire Big Dipper city. Some Transcendence realm cultivators felt suffocated and uncomfortable. Their hearts felt like a big stone was pressing down on them. This was a kind of power that made all creatures tremble and want to crawl. Some people were shocked. The possibility of a true dragon's nest was very high. Perhaps it really was a heaven-defying true dragon that cultivated to the heavens. Then, the cave it left behind would be quite shocking. Perhaps the dragon's nest here was left behind by a divine guardian beast of the Big Dipper bloodline. The atmosphere became more and more oppressive day by day because this aura that made all creatures tremble seeped out from the ancient underground cave. This meant that Shui Guan and the others had already excavated an important area. Day after day passed. Big Dipper City gave birth to an ancient pressure. It was like a million mountains were arranged here, giving people a splitting headache. Some people boldly speculated that it might be a true dragon, the Divine King. It's coming out soon. Su Yin observed the terrain and studied the strange, secret techniques recorded on the ancient stone slab. His gains were great, and his grasp of the terrain also increased a level. He could faintly see a giant dragon awakening from its slumber. Even the experts of various races outside were nervously watching. If it really was a true dragon's nest, what was a quasi-divine medicine? Perhaps they could dig out a true dragon's saint medicine. Another day passed. The ancient underground cave that was excavated suddenly surged with an ancient and vast aura. When it awakened, even the enormous Big Dipper City trembled, about to be pushed apart by the layers of aura that were gushing out. That boundless and terrifying aura rippled out, making Shui Guan and the others pale. They all felt like they were about to be shaken apart. Retreat quickly. Shui Guan and the others quickly retreated because the aura could no longer be sealed. The moment the ancient cave's solid rock walls collapsed, the aura released was incomparably terrifying. Ho! The divine dragon roared loudly. The stars in the sky trembled, and some stars were even shaken apart. Under the horrified gazes of Big Dipper City, a giant dragon drilled out from the ancient cave. Its entire body was silver white, and its brilliance overflowed into the heavens. Chapter 273. True Dragon. It really is a true dragon. The scene displayed by Starry Sky Edge was already a bit blurry, but the elders couldn't sit still. They were all extremely excited, their eyes turning red. Kong Ao, in particular, was full of expectation. If he could obtain a bit of the true dragon bloodline's supreme, precious blood, then he might even be able to advance a step further. The true dragon could be regarded as the king of 10,000 beasts, a legendary, unrivaled divine beast. Divine beasts that could compare to it were few and far between. Now that the true dragon had appeared and spanned hundreds of thousands of miles, just the heavenly might of the true dragon alone was enough to shatter the void and create huge cracks. Even the sky above Big Dipper City turned into a giant spiderweb of cracks that were about to shatter. This scene was too shocking. The heavenly geniuses from outside this region all sucked in a cold breath of air. What kind of terrifying true dragon was this? Just a void image of its aura alone was enough to destroy the world. We really have to thank Su Yin. Otherwise, how could the true dragon's nest have been so easily discovered? The true dragon's nest that has been hidden for so long. The Shui family's elders were all pleasantly surprised. What did losing a stock of half-divine medicine count for? Compared to the true dragon's nest, its value was incomparable. If they could sweep through the true dragon's nest and obtain the opportunities inside, then the future Shuiguan would be even more astonishing. 1. There were a few cultivators who couldn't resist the temptation and threw themselves over. They wanted to cross into the true dragon's nest and obtain the natural luck inside. However, before they could even approach the true dragon's nest, The indistinct aura that emerged from the nest made this group of cultivators shatter on their own, silently dying. The hearts of the cultivators who saw this scene went cold. The true dragon's nest was just too astonishing. It had been sealed for endless years and only appeared now. However, the aura it left behind was definitely not something an ordinary person could resist. Shueguan's group of heavenly geniuses sat in the void. Their expressions were cold as they overlooked all sides. They were determined to obtain the true dragon's nest at all costs. They would unite against the outside world. This type of natural luck was something none of them could just hand over to someone else. Big Dipper City's atmosphere immediately became quiet. Many people looked towards the enormous silver dragon that filled the void. This was an enormous silver void image and not real. It was slowly disappearing, but it needed a certain amount of time. We found it. In the outside world, Elder Shao Wen's hands trembled as he held an ancient book in fear of damaging it. This book had existed for over 100,000 years and was about to decay. The chief elders of the Big Dipper lineage looked at the contents of the hall, their faces turning solemn. Over 100,000 years ago, which was the end of the last era, my Big Dipper lineage's guardian divine beast, old ancestor Silver Dragon. What? I know that the Big Dipper bloodline once had a silver dragon god beast. At the end of the previous universe era, which was when the Big Dipper star collapsed, my race had records of it. Shueguan's a dragon. Even the great figures lost their composure. The implications were too terrifying and made them feel a chill run down their spines. That was because this involved the mystery of the Big Dipper's burial. The ancient star with the strongest life form had sunk. What kind of terrifying event was this? Even after a universe epic had passed, the cultivation world still couldn't calm down. It was often brought up by the old monsters of various star fields. 120,000 years was an era. The secret of the Big Dipper was one of the biggest mysteries in the universe. It was related to the strongest ancient star. Who wouldn't pay attention to it? Maybe we can really find some clues in the Silver Dragon's ancient cave. Will the secrets buried for countless years surface? That's a bloody case. The Big Dipper clan suffered great losses. If it's really uncovered, it will shake the entire universe. Kong Ao and the others were uncertain. Why did the Big Dipper collapse? If it wasn't for the Big Dipper starfield would still be one of the top 10 superpowers. The Big Dipper clan would still be at its peak. Due to the collapse of the Big Dipper clan was in an awkward position. Shao Wen and the others wanted to know what happened to the Big Dipper. Legend has it that one of the 9 great immortal mountains sank under the Big Dipper, causing it to collapse. My son is the champion. He can definitely sweep through the true dragon's nest. If he can obtain the true dragon's blood, it will be a great opportunity. The Shui family head said coldly in his heart, when he marries the Big Dipper fairy, won't the Big Dipper clan be under Shueguan's control? What Big Dipper heaven's chosen? He's just a grasshopper that can be crushed at will. Han Jin had already expressed his full support for Shueguan. During this time, Han Jin was extremely angry. Some of the senior elders were prepared to support Su Yan. This showed that Su Yan's potential was beginning to attract the attention of the Big Dipper clan senior elders. Han Jin was extremely angry. If he didn't get rid of Su Yan, he wouldn't be able to eat or sleep in peace. I hate this. Shao Wen and the others stare at the enormous silver dragon coiling in the sky above the Big Dipper city. An indescribable feeling of resentment rose in their hearts. They roared inwardly. If my Big Dipper clan was strong and had a young paragon overseeing it, who would dare to touch the Silver Dragon Patriarch's cave? Shao Wen and the others were increasingly unhappy with Shueguan. During this time, Su Yan had been targeted. Admittedly, Su Yan had also turned the tables and killed the Shui family head. But what could they do? Who could stop Shueguan's invincible footsteps? Damn it, the Big Dipper clan is in chaos. External enemies are eyeing us covetously. We can't even protect the Silver Dragon Patriarch's cave. Shao Wen and the others were furious. Some of the senior elders sighed. If the Big Dipper heaven's chosen was 10 years older, he would definitely be able to shoulder the burden. Although they didn't know whose disciple Su Yan was, Just the Big Dipper Star-Lord's care for Su Yan was enough to prove Su Yan's status in the Big Dipper clan. Bamboo Moon was the Star-Lord. Her words and actions represented the Big Dipper clan. Undercurrents were surging in Big Dipper City. This was because the fluctuations emanating from the True Dragon Lair were gradually dissipating as time passed. It was obvious that once the True Dragon Lair's aura dissipated, they would be able to step into the True Dragon Lair and search for fortunes. This is bad. Shueguan has teamed up with the Big Dipper clan's Big Dipper clans. Divine Firmament's Lei Yuguang, Saintess Ziwei, Yao's Tian Peng, and the Ancestral Hall's Zhu Xing. These four are all top prodigies, not to mention Shueguan, who is at the peak of his power. Who can stop such a lineup? The True Dragon Lair was definitely a battlefield for prodigies. Now that Shueguan had teamed up with these top prodigies, it was very likely that they would take over the True Dragon Lair. Dali's Diamond Ape and Jiao Zantian are here. These two are also top prodigies. What's the use of that? Is he comparable to Autarch Shueguan of the Big Dipper Starfield? The Shui family's cultivators were disdainful. They thought that Shueguan could defeat all the prodigies present. Many people looked at Saintess Ziwei. She was holy and otherworldly. She was the one who knew about the True Dragon Lair. Saintess, when can we enter? Lei Yuan's body was covered in thunder and lightning. He was a very famous prodigy in the Divine Firmament Star Zone. He couldn't wait to enter the True Dragon Lair to search for opportunities. Saintess Ziwei's clothes fluttered in the wind. Her snow-white skin was hazy with emerald light. She nodded slightly and said, "I'll observe with my heavenly eye. We can enter the True Dragon Lair safely by the next day." The people here were not in a hurry. After all, they had already dug out the True Dragon Lair. It was not a peaceful night. Ingjia's powerful auras kept arriving at Big Dipper City. Some people even speculated that the Primes might come to join in the fun. The Big Dipper family is getting worse with each generation. Yao Guang and the others are standing with Shueguan. Don't they know what the title of Big Dipper Supreme means? Big Dipper has Shueguan. He has the Primes and is the Big Dipper prodigy. Haha. Although the Big Dipper prodigy is powerful and has extraordinary potential, it's a pity that he started too late. He can't catch up to Shueguan and the others. Some prodigies shook their heads. They acknowledged Su Yan's potential, but they didn't think Su Yan could catch up. Cultivation in the Dharma Phase realm was more difficult than the last. However, Shueguan had already comprehended the Great Tao. If he was conferred the title of Big Dipper Supreme, Shueguan would definitely rise in the future. I really wonder how powerful the primes conferred by the Star Zone are. Su Yan muttered in his heart, "How powerful is Earth? If I can get the recognition of Earth's Great Tao." Su Yan pondered this matter. According to his understanding, conferring the title of Star Zone Sovereign was very important. It played a crucial role in his future cultivation. It was a very cruel matter. However, Su Yan didn't understand. Why confer the title of Star Zone Sovereign? Could it be that the Great Tao of the Star Zone had its own will? When the second day arrived, the silver dragon above Big Dipper City had already slowly dissipated. The aura that pervaded the True Dragon's lair also dropped sharply. This ancient lair had been sealed for an entire universe epic. Now it let out a loud sound. This was the sound of a dragon's roar being released, filled with a bitter, killing intent. The nearby cultivators were shocked. Their bodies felt like they were going to split apart. This was a warning that the True Dragon's lair shouldn't be entered carelessly. I seem to be seeing a scene of blood flowing through the ages. Su Yan observed the terrain with a serious expression. The dragon's lair was not simple. It was surrounded by a dark red luster, like a type of blood. It lingered in the void and didn't dissipate even after countless years. Just as everyone was paying attention, Shueguan moved. In an instant, his body rumbled with a loud sound. This was the awakening of the divine treasures in the human body. It was too domineering and too shocking. The people in the surroundings were still in shock, but Shueguan had already rushed up. It was as if he had turned into an ancient Qilin as he charged forward. Bang! The entrance to the True Dragon's lair was forcefully opened. The dark red light that filled the sky dispersed. Shui Guan charged straight into the lair. As for Saint Ziwei and the others, they followed closely behind. They charged in without paying much attention to the Li. Charge! Countless cultivators gathered in Big Dipper City. Seeing the scene of Shui Guan charging in, a large number of cultivators rushed forward. Too many people were rushing in together. Su Yin was astonished. As soon as he stepped into the true dragon's lair, the lair seemed very grand. It was so large that it seemed to support the sky. There was an independent world inside. From here to the true dragon's lair, one had to step through a passage. Boom! The silver passage shook fiercely. It vibrated with the power of the archaic true dragon, crushing people's bodies. It caused groups of cultivators to explode, blood splashing across the sky. Su Yin encountered an extremely powerful attack. However, he endured it and charged straight towards the end of the silver passage. Those who are not strong, hurry up and retreat, someone warned. However, in the process, large numbers of people died. It was like cutting grass, dying miserably in the silver passage. This kind of true dragon chi was not something ordinary people could withstand. Of course, there were also many cultivators who rushed in. Diao Zantian and the other creatures with terrifying auras also rushed in. Su Yin also rushed in while resisting the dragon's might. However, as soon as he stepped in, he was met with a surging fist. Su Yin was shocked. The little dragon king and the others were also targeted. This was Shui Guan and the others standing here, killing the geniuses who had stepped into the true dragon's lair. Was a decisive battle about to begin? Those who are not strong, get out, Yao Guang said coldly. He did not recognize who Su Yin was and raised his fist to smash at him. Then you can be eliminated. Su Yan's eyes widened. Wearing the astral battle armor, the aura in his body became fiercer. He raised his fist and smashed over, bringing with it a blood essence storm that caused the void to tremble. It rumbled and rolled over, accompanied by the roar of a true dragon. Chapter 274. At the end of the silver passageway, divine light surged and loud noises echoed. The various prodigies fought and killed each other. They collided face to face, producing all kinds of destructive ripples that swept in all directions. Without a doubt, Shui Guan and the others did not want others to step into the true dragon's lair. They stood here to block them. It was as if they were going to carry out a great purge and cripple a group of prodigies who were not strong enough to dominate the land of fortune. Shui Guan is still the stronger one. He actually dares to dominate the true dragon's lair. The various experts who were watching through the cosmic edge were all moved. Could it be that he already had an invincible foundation? Was he already unafraid of any force in the world? After all, these people's backgrounds were not small. Blocking one of them would definitely affect one's karma. Su Yin, Han Jin almost jumped up. At the corner of the battlefield, he saw the true dragon's secret technique whizzing out. He could not think of anyone other than Su Yin who could grasp the true dragon's secret technique. The Big Dipper prodigy has come out. He is really bold, even daring to enter the true dragon's lair. Kong Ao's expression was very interesting. The ruthless person who robbed the auction and stole the quasi-sage medicine actually jumped out so quickly. Su Yin did not even hide. Could it be that Su Yin already had the ability to survive against a prodigy? Kong Ao was inevitably excited. He already knew about the star flower, but he did not expect the quasi-sage medicine to fall into the hands of this race's king beast. If the Starry Sky King Beast really comprehended the Tao in the future, then the Starry Sky Beast would really owe Su Yin a great deal of karma. It's you. Great son Yao Guang's eyes widened in anger. His hair danced in the wind, filled with a violent aura. Endless divine light. Swish! When the Yao Guang sacred technique was activated, great son Yao Guang seemed to have turned into a burning star. His fist shook with endless divine light. Great son Yao Guang attacked angrily. Standing at the apex of the domain, he waved his fist. Divine light gushed out like angry waves. Strands of divine light could cut through the void as it smashed towards Su Yin from all directions. Roar! Su Yin met the attack head-on. His body was like a divine furnace as his blood essence overflowed into the heavens. The moment he erupted with the true dragon's secret technique, Su Yan was like an angry dragon rising from the ground. True dragon energy gushed out from his pores. For a time, Su Yan's aura soared. This was because the power of the astral battle armor had pushed Su Yan's aura up, allowing him to stand in a powerful domain. However, the moment the true dragon's secret technique was awakened, a corner of the true dragon lair rumbled, and the aura of the true dragon that had been nurtured between heaven and earth began to gather. Ha ha ha! Su Yan threw his head back and roared with laughter. His divine power skyrocketed when he swung his fist. Bang! Under everyone's astonished gazes, Su Yan's fist shattered the holy light in the sky and landed solidly on Yao Guang's fist. The surrounding people couldn't believe it. Su Yan's body was as stable as a mountain. On the other hand, Yao Guang's body was shaking. His entire fist was cracked by Su Yan's punch. Blood spilled out, and even his bones were cracked. Ah! Yao Guang roared furiously, and the corners of his eyes almost split open. How humiliating. He was actually injured by Su Yan. This astral battle armor is mine. Su Yan, you bastard. Han Tong was so angry that his face turned green. He could tell that Su Yan was wearing the astral battle armor that he had put up for auction. However, what surprised him was that the astral battle armor's power had increased by so much. It was because this battle armor had increased Su Yan's combat strength and defense. Yao Guang wanted to move Su Yan. That was a complete fool's dream. Flawless astral battle armor? Xiao Wan, who was watching the battle through the cosmic corner, was shocked. The refining method of this thing has been lost. Where did he get it from? Could it be that he smashed it out? Some of the Big Dipper lineage's doyens were shocked. The astral battle armor was considered a luxury item. It could increase combat strength, but the consumption was too severe. At the entrance of the true dragon's lair, the sky was filled with Yao Guang's sacred light. It was too blazing and resplendent. It was extremely beautiful. When Yao Guang fought with his life on the line, he was truly powerful. The sky was filled with divine radiance that flooded the void. It was like a raging river that caused the world to tremble. However, what made people not know whether to laugh or cry was that no matter how powerful Yao Guang was, he couldn't move Su Yan. The astral battle armor that he was wearing had perfectly fused with Su Yan. He continuously waved his fists and pounced forward. This bastard, Yao Guanghao Master, was so angry that his face turned purple. There was no need to talk about Su Yan's physical body. His close combat strength was astonishing. Now that he had the help of the astral battle armor, he didn't fear the power of Yao Guang's aspect at all. He braved the storm and pounced forward. He raised his fist and smashed it at Yao Guang. Bang, bang, bang. Punch after punch. Every punch caused blood to spurt out and bones to crack. Ah! Yao Guang let out a shrill cry. His flesh was torn open and his face was swollen. Even his pores were spitting out bone fragments. He used all his strength to attack Su Yan, but it was useless. Su Yan's physical body was too tough. With the astral battle armor, he was like an indestructible golden body that blocked all of Yao Guang's saint techniques. What a terrifying Big Dipper prodigy. Yao Guang, who is at the 8th level of the aspect realm, is no match for Su Yan. Everyone was shocked, and their scalps went numb. Yao Guang hadn't stepped into the peak domain, but who could easily suppress him? Su Yan, I'm going to kill you. Yao Guang's eyes were red. He couldn't accept it. If Su Yan didn't have the astral battle armor, he wouldn't be able to stop him. Yao Guang, do you think I'm a pushover? Don't act all high and mighty. I'll beat you to death. Su Yan was ruthless. He punched out, causing Yao Guang to spit out a large mouthful of blood. His internal organs were about to split open. His entire body was like a broken ceramic that could shatter at any time. Little Dragon King was dumbfounded. The astral battle armor had consumed a lot of divine energy, but how did Su Yan recover it? Too miserable. Back then, Yao Guang looked down on Su Yan. Now, Su Yan counterattacked and beat Yao Guang. This is really a reversal of fortune. Some people couldn't bear to watch. No matter what, Yao Guang was still a Yao Guang. Now, he was being beaten by Su Yin until his entire body was trembling and he couldn't even get up. Dong! At this moment, wisps of terrifying aura exploded. The cultivators who rushed in were shocked when they saw the Lee's Diamond ape fighting with Shueguan. However, what they couldn't believe was that the Lee's Diamond ape had suffered a heavy blow. Its huge arms were bent. Little Dragon King's body emitted cold air. This was too strong. Just how strong was Shueguan's body? The powerful De Lee's Diamond ape couldn't defeat Shueguan with pure physical strength. Shueguan had just repelled De Lee's Diamond ape. He turned his spear and forced it towards Su Yin. His eyes were cold and filled with killing intent. Bang! Shueguan had just turned his spear when the crowd saw that the space where Su Yin was shattered by a qilin. However, Su Yin had already disappeared. He used earth shrinking and disappeared from where he was with the struggling Yao Guang. Roar! The qilin had just appeared and instantly let out a loud roar. The roar was earth-shattering. Rolling ripples swept across the void, trying to shake Su Yin out of the void. Little Shueguan, you want to kill me so badly? Su Yin was strolling in the sky. He was carrying great child Yao Guang, who was like a dead dog. Killing intent surged between heaven and earth. A huge qilin appeared, supporting the heaven and earth and suppressing the rivers and mountains. Without Shueguan, you are nothing. Get lost for Grandpa Martin. Shueguan had just left when Jiao Zantian and the others showed their might and rushed in. The group of geniuses worked together and pushed back Zhu Xing and the other geniuses who tried to stop them. Ha ha! Brother Su Yin, good job! Wu Heng let out a loud laugh, causing the faces of Han Tong and the others to turn gloomy. Shueguan wanted to kill Su Yin too much. But what made them shudder with fear and trepidation was that great son Yao Guang was suppressed by Su Yin. Let me go. I advise you not to make a mistake. It's nothing to rely on the cosmic armor to defeat me. Yao Guang wanted nothing more than to find a hole to hide in. A few years ago, he looked down on Su Yin. But today, he was beaten by Su Yin to the point where he couldn't even raise his head. Now, he was even suppressed by him. Yao Guang couldn't bear such humiliation. Don't shout. Be careful, or I'll cripple you. Su Yin's cold eyes swept across Yao Guang as he spoke in an icy voice. Yao Guang's eyes turned red. However, the killing intent in the latter's eyes made Yao Guang shiver. He didn't doubt Su Yin's methods at all. Su Yin didn't kill Yao Guang. Instead, he sealed him. I'm going to find treasures. Su Yin took a step in the void, using shrinking ground to inch to traverse the void. It was very difficult for Shueguan to catch up to Su Yin. The main reason was that the true dragon's lair was too big. The heavens and earth contained the true dragon's divine might. Su Yin grasped the true dragon's secret technique. Thus, he was like a fish in water here. As for Shueguan and the others, they were more or less suppressed. Moreover, the situation here exceeded his expectations. There were ruins everywhere, and there were even dried bloodstains in some areas. After a universe epoch, the true dragon's lair looked like it had been overturned by someone. It wasn't like the legends where the entire Big Dipper was crushed by an immortal mountain. Could it be that the Big Dipper lineage encountered a great calamity that wasn't recorded in history? Su Yin whispered in his heart. He wanted to figure out this matter. Perhaps he could find the secret behind the collapse of the Big Dipper. He might even find a mountain that he wanted to climb. Su Yin didn't have the time to think about these things. He rapidly traversed the true dragon's lair. The dragon totem displayed its effects and brought Su Yin to search for treasures. He rapidly searched and found stocks of extinct ancient medicines. There were even some special ancient medicines that gave birth to the aura of a true dragon. This moved him. The value of these things was too great. If he could find more, he might be able to refine a furnace of true dragon pills. There are too many people here. Digging for ordinary treasures will only be a waste of time. If I search for the most valuable treasures, I might be able to find the chi of a true dragon. Su Yan's movements were very fast. He avoided some dangerous areas. There were some damaged formations in some areas. If creatures accidentally stepped into them, they would be refined into ashes. Su Yin traversed all the way. His harvest wasn't small. This was because he even found stones that seemed to give birth to the chi of a true dragon. There doesn't seem to be anything good in the true dragon's lair. A large area has been destroyed and is filled with the aura of death. It can't give birth to natural treasures? Su Yin frowned. The dragon totem's ability to search for treasures was also disrupted. There were fierce battles everywhere in this small world. Chapter 275. The ancient cave was vast, and many cultivators had already rushed in. Zhu Xing and the others were furious. If it weren't for Su Yin leading Shui Guan away, they might have taken the opportunity to eliminate a group of Heaven's Prides and intimidate the outside cultivators into not daring to enter. At that time, they would definitely be able to enter the true dragon's nest alone. Now, it was too late to say anything. They weren't in the mood to go on a punitive expedition. They were all searching for the treasures nurtured in the true dragon's nest. However, some people asserted that this shouldn't be the true dragon's nest because there were almost no rare items. Although some people found some precious ancient medicines, their value wasn't high at all. What the hell is this? Su Yin touched the ruins. There were broken walls everywhere, and ancient buildings had collapsed for countless years. Some buildings even had the marks of various weapons. Su Yin's eyes looked forward. At the end of the ruins, there was a blood-colored mountain peak. This mountain peak was covered in bloody radiance, and it was suffused with an oppressive atmosphere. This mountain peak seemed to be poured out of blood, and the mountain body faintly lingered with the aura of a dragon. This mountain peak has been soaked in dragon blood, and even the blood of various races. Su Yan's pupils suddenly shrank. He thought to himself, as time passed, it became stronger and transformed. It has already nurtured itself into a natural treasure embryo. If it is refined, it will definitely be an extraordinary treasure. The mountain peak was like a burning divine furnace, its aura blazing. Su Yin approached the mountain peak. The fluctuations of this blood-colored mountain peak caused Su Yan's heart to feel stifled. It was as if he was carrying a mountain on his back. However, this thing is suitable for refining medicine. If I extract the essence blood inside, I can definitely refine a furnace of great medicine. Su Yan's eyes turned red. Only heaven knew what kind of expert's essence blood was sprinkled on this mountain peak, allowing it to experience countless years and turn into a treasure embryo. He directly reached out his hand to grab the blood-colored mountain peak. What left him speechless was that the mountain peak was too heavy. With his strength, it was difficult to move it. Damn it, this mountain peak is blocking the nest. Su Yin roared in his heart, because the sound of the dragon totem was not coming from the mountain peak, but from below. He speculated that below was definitely the true dragon's nest. The ancient cave he was in was only the outer region. Su Yin fiercely shook the blood-colored mountain peak, using his strongest strength. No matter how heavy the blood-colored mountain peak was, it couldn't withstand Su Yan's strength. It was lifted off the ground by Su Yin, but it was too heavy. Even the slightest movement caused the world to shake, as if a great earthquake was about to occur. Not good. An expert is coming. Su Yan's expression changed slightly as he sensed a creature with a terrifying aura rushing over from afar. Even from far away, he could sense it. This was a terrifying airflow that shook the clouds one after another. It was definitely a creature with astonishing battle prowess. Su Yan used ground shrink to enter the void and brought out the starry sky treasure mirror to conceal his body. The great earth in the distance trembled. There was a huge, vicious being running amok. Its might was ferocious, and its aura was tyrannical. Its speed was extremely fast, and it had already appeared at the limits of the horizon. This was a giant ape. Its arms were like enormous stone pillars, strong and powerful. It contained an indescribable force that could easily tear apart the void. The diamond ape, it should be able to lift the blood-colored mountain peak. Su Yin muttered in his heart. This mountain peak was too heavy. As for the diamond apes, Su Yin had already experienced their strength. Their divine strength reached the heavens, and moving mountains and seas was as easy as flipping their hands. An adult Dully Diamond Ape could even tear apart gods and demons. A great treasure. The Dully Diamond Ape's eyes were burning with greed. It inspected the blood-colored mountain peak and quickly ran up. Its giant arms stretched out and hugged the blood-colored mountain peak. Boom! The giant blood-colored mountain peak was lifted up by the Dully Diamond Ape. Its strength surged as it roared, wanting to pull up the entire blood-colored mountain peak and throw it into the spatial treasure. Just as it was about to move, Su Yan's pupils shrank. He discovered that the moment the blood-colored mountain peak left the ground, a faint space-time hole appeared. The Dully Diamond Ape didn't discover it, but Su Yan saw it clearly. What the hell is this? Su Yan was stunned. This was because he discovered that the faint space-time hole was actually suppressing a life form. Su Yan could even feel the aura of life. This left him aghast. There was a life form below, and it was being suppressed within the space-time hole. Su Yan was scared. It was difficult to measure how long this ancient cave had been sealed for. Could there be a life form that had lived for hundreds of thousands of years? Who would believe this if news of this spread out? Could it be Sun Wukong? How many years has it been suppressed? Or was this life form the first to come here and was accidentally suppressed beneath the blood-colored mountain? Su Yan muttered in his heart. Although the Dully Diamond Ape had moved the blood-colored mountain, the ancient cave suction force had sucked it in. Roar! The Dully Diamond Ape emitted a deep roar. It used all of its strength to move the blood-colored mountain, but it was too difficult. No matter how strong it was still difficult to move the blood-colored mountain peak. What is that? The ground in the distance was shaking, alarming the nearby cultivators. A large group of cultivators rushed in. When they saw the Dully Diamond Ape trying to move the blood-colored mountain, they all paled. This sect treasure was too heavy. The Dully Diamond Ape was actually having difficulty moving it. Boom! The blood-colored mountain fell to the ground. The Dully Diamond Ape was panting heavily. Its expression was ugly. It didn't expect to fail. Let me do it! A divine bird broke through the clouds. Its body was huge, covering dozens of miles. Its entire body was covered in golden feathers. Every feather made a sonorous sound and scattered golden splendor. Each feather was like a killing sword opening and closing. This was the Pung race's heavenly Pung. It was dazzling, and its entire body seemed to be made of metal and gold. It was filled with a terrifying aura. The Dully Diamond Ape sneered. Even it couldn't move it, so it was impossible for the golden-winged Great Pung to do so. The Pang's large claws had already grasped the blood-colored mountain peak. What made the surrounding cultivators speechless was that the Pung was inferior to the Dully Diamond Ape. It could only barely lift the blood-colored mountain peak off the ground for a while before it sank to the ground. This sect's great treasure is too heavy. More and more cultivators rushed over. They were all astonished because one after another, famous geniuses came and tried to move the blood-colored mountain peak. Unfortunately, it was useless. There were even some who brandished their weapons, but they couldn't cut open the blood-colored mountain peak. Supreme Shuiguan has come. At this time, the surrounding cultivators looked over. They all wanted to see the true face of this sect's great treasure. However, if even Supreme Shuiguan couldn't move it, then it was likely that no one could. Hurry up and move it! Su Yan was extremely anxious. The true dragon's nest was below. If someone really saw some clues, then it would be impossible for them to immediately enter the true dragon's nest. Perhaps Shuiguan and the others would unite with even more geniuses to prevent the other forces from entering. All of you, get out of the way. My big brother is making a move, so stay away. Be careful not to injure you. Shuiguan's arrogant voice caused Ali, the Diamond Ape, and the others to feel uncomfortable. Shuiguan had already arrived. Although he looked calm, the aura that flowed out from him still caused others to tremble. Even Ali and the Diamond Ape couldn't move it. How can Shuiguan do it? Some people were doubtful. However, when they saw Shuiguan approach, his body burning like an immortal furnace and shooting out endless beams of light, they were all terrified. At this moment, Shuiguan's aura was magnificent as if a god had erupted here. What a terrifying Shueguan. Just how strong is his body? How strong is his divine force? Shueguan's body has surpassed that of Supreme Body. Who can compete with him? He can definitely move the blood-colored mountain peak. Everyone was discussing spiritedly. As they saw Shueguan grow stronger and stronger, his divine force piercing through the heavens, he erupted with a cold shout. His entire body surged with divine light as he pulled up the blood-colored mountain peak. Even the void was distorting. This sex treasure was too heavy. Even the suction force of the true dragon lair found it difficult to resist Shueguan's strength. The Li and the diamond ape had a solemn expression. This body was too strong. No wonder the supreme bodies of the Big Dipper Star region had to step aside. In terms of physical strength, they estimated that Shueguan could be ranked in the top 10 in the vast universe. How terrifying. It's like I'm watching a supreme body erupt with power, moving an ancient peak and looking down on everything. The cultivators that revered Shueguan cried out in alarm. No one refuted this. His strength was unquestionable. Just as Shueguan raised the blood-colored mountain peak above his head, Su Yin discovered that within the indistinct space-time dragon lair, the mysterious creature that was lying here crawled up and ran away. This fellow couldn't have been the first to discover it and failed to move it, right? Su Yin made a prompt decision. He pounced forward and rushed over. Look, there's an ancient cave below. Someone rushed in just now. The surrounding cultivators who were still in shock cried out one after another. They saw someone rush into the indistinct ancient cave. Shueguan's eyes turned cold. What did they think he was? A coolie? All of you stop right there. No one is allowed to go. Some Shui family cultivators were so angry that their faces turned ashen. They hurried over to intercept the cultivators who were rushing towards the dragon lair. A bunch of ants. I don't even want to deal with you. Dali's diamond ape rushed towards the dragon lair. Its aura was too tyrannical, sending the Shui family cultivators flying like dead dogs. Hurry up and rush in. This might be a real dragon lair. Little Dragon King and the others rushed in. Shueguan's eyes were soul-stirring. He wanted to stop them, but the blood-colored mountain was too heavy. He was still carrying it, so he couldn't put it away in a short period of time. Su Yin had already escaped into the dragon lair. As soon as he arrived, his body felt like it was about to explode. What a terrifying dragon lair. Su Yin felt cold all over. The dragon lair was filled with the aura of an ancient true dragon. It made Su Yin feel as if he had fallen into purgatory. This place was too fierce. He felt like he was about to be pressed down on the ground. And Su Yin was pleasantly surprised. He operated the true dragon's secret technique and actually resonated with the true dragon aura in the dragon lair. The power of the dragon lair that was targeting him retreated like a tide. True dragon aura. When Su Yin came back to his senses, he realized that there was a true dragon aura floating in the air. One after another, the true dragon aura contained the essence of an ancient true dragon. It was like the life aura of a true dragon floating in the air. Su Yin was pleasantly surprised and moved. Absorb some of the dragon aura of the monthly votes. Let me have a happy holiday. Su Yin took out his life cauldron and absorbed the true dragon aura floating in the air. Chapter 276. The true dragon's lair was filled with miserable screams. The cultivators that rushed in were all suppressed by the true dragon's lair. Even Li's diamond ape was trembling all over. It would be difficult for them to withstand the pressure of the ancient true dragon's aura for a short period of time. Everyone was terrified. This was definitely a true dragon's lair. The place where the true dragon lived all year round gave birth to a supreme true dragon's aura. Any cultivator that rushed in would be targeted by the dragon's lair. Their aura was greatly damaged, and it was difficult for them to stand at their peak. Heavens, this is the true dragon's aura. Some people regained their senses and their eyes turned red. They saw Su Yin taking out his life cauldron to absorb the true dragon's aura. More than a dozen strands of true dragon's aura had already been absorbed by Su Yan's life cauldron. Su Yan has mastered the true dragon's secret technique. He's fine. Dali's diamond ape was so depressed that it wanted to vomit blood. It always thought that it was the first to discover this place. In the end, Su Yin was one step ahead of it and dug up the fortune. After all, the true dragon's aura had a miraculous effect on the body. Dali's diamond ape was very envious. "Ha ha, brother, leave some for me." The young dragon king ran over. It had a thin amount of dragon blood in its body. Now that it entered the true dragon's lair, it was like a dragon returning to the sea. Its pores were glowing as it absorbed the true dragon's matter in the lair. It was very comfortable. The young dragon king was very vigorous. It opened its mouth to absorb the true dragon's aura. Strands of true dragon's aura entered its body one after another. The young dragon king's blood essence rapidly strengthened and its physique transformed. The flood dragon body that was nourished by the true dragon's aura was rapidly evolving into a true dragon's body. Everyone's eyes turned red. The young dragon king had obtained a great opportunity. It was very likely that it would give birth to a true dragon's body in the future. At this moment, Dali's diamond ape and the others endured the enormous pressure and rushed over to fight for the true dragon's aura. Boom! The entrance of the true dragon's lair trembled. Shueguan rushed in. Even if it was the pressure of the ancient true dragon's aura, Shueguan could still withstand it. However, Shueguan's strength was also suppressed. True dragon chi. Shueguan was pleasantly surprised. There were very few opportunities that could move him, even if it was a treasure of the same level as the true dragon chi. However, the true dragon chi was different because it could nourish his physique. The entire area trembled violently as Shueguan unleashed his dragon capturing hands, attacking Su Yin from all directions. Who knew that Su Yin would be very decisive? With a quick step, he disappeared from his spot. The intrinsic cauldron in his hand floated through the true dragon's lair. Bastard! Zhu Xing's face turned green. Su Yin took away 8 strands of true dragon chi. The young dragon king took away 4 strands. Only 5 strands were left. However, with so many of them, even if they fought to the death, they might not be able to take away even 1 strand. Shueguan, aren't you being too overbearing? You still want to take it all for yourself? Don't talk nonsense. If you have the ability, then go chase after Su Yin. He might have several hundred strands of true dragon chi on him. Dali, the diamond ape, and the others were furious. Shueguan directly stretched out his palm to suppress the remaining true dragon chi. They would not easily give it to Shueguan. Su Yin had already run far away. He could feel the intensity of the battle behind him. There were even a large number of cultivators that rushed in and rushed into the true dragon's lair. We must capture him. Su Yin took away so much true dragon chi. Han Tong and the others clenched their teeth and madly rushed forward. That was a total of 8 strands of true dragon chi. Its value was difficult to estimate. However, Su Yin's speed made their faces turn green. They were suppressed in the true dragon's lair and could not display their full strength. As for Su Yin, he had grasped the true dragon's secret technique and could freely come and go in the true dragon's lair. Su Yin was in the process of traversing when he discovered that the purple energy in front of him was dense. Brilliant divine radiance shot out in all directions. One after another, true dragons could be faintly seen in the purple clouds, riding on the clouds. Su Yin was shocked. There were precious trees growing here. Each of them was purple in color, and each of them was as strong as a dragon. Their branches and leaves were lush, and they towered into the clouds. This is a precious purple dragon tree. It will only grow in a place where a true dragon resides. Su Yan's eyes lit up and said, "It's a very rare species. If you take it out, you can sell it for a sky-high price." Not only could this thing be used to refine divine resin into pills, it could even be used as a shopfront. In short, its value is very high. There were a total of 5 purple dragon trees. This is a precious purple dragon tree. If you pull out like this, it will be very difficult for the purple dragon tree to grow again. With the old guy's conditions, his heart ached half to death. They all followed behind Su Yan's, but now Su Yin pulled out the purple dragon tree with one hand and ran with it. F***CK. Some old cultivators were so angry that they almost fainted. They estimated that these purple dragon trees had grown for at least tens of thousands of years. They were very valuable and could easily be sold for a sky-high price. However, they were pulled out one by Su Yin. Bang! The dense runes that filled the sky also tilted down, densely covering the void. The cultivators that rushed over from all directions fought fiercely, fighting over the remaining 3 purple dragon trees. Gradually, the space of the dragon nest became larger. The cultivators had already scattered to search for treasures. Su Yin had been following the dragon totems since the entire time, but what made his face turn black was that there were very few treasures here. Was this really a dragon nest? What an exuberant dragon chi! Su Yin was sprinting. He saw a large lake that was steaming with clouds. In the center of the lake, there was a small continent. Dragon chi surged out of this continent, rolling like a tide, causing Su Yan's expression to change. Just as he was about to reach his destination, he smelled a medicinal fragrance. He could even faintly hear the sound of the primordial true dragon exploding in his ears. Su Yan paled and rushed over. His eyes opened wide as he saw through the clouds. Really? Su Yan was shocked. He saw that there were stalks of red, ancient medicine on the continent. Each stalk of ancient medicine was surrounded by true dragon chi. They were like young, true dragons lying here, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth. There were a total of 6 stalks of ancient medicine, rooted in a small medicine field. This small medicine field was overflowing with light and contained exuberant earth essence. This could already be called a rare medicine field. It could even be used to cultivate all kinds of great medicines. This is true dragon grass. Su Yin was ecstatic. This was an extremely rare ancient medicine, true dragon grass. It was rumored that true dragon grass could only be nurtured in a true dragon's nest. It would easily require a long period of time. The value of each stalk of true dragon grass was difficult to measure. It contained a massive amount of true dragon blood essence and was extremely nourishing to the human body. Su Yin was excited. He was just worrying about how to find resources. After all, Su Yin was about to cultivate to the peak of the transcendent realm. Now that he had the true dragon grass, things were different. This stalk of true dragon grass, together with the true dragon chi, was enough for his physical body to transform and break through to the transcendence realm. Su Yan's palms suddenly grabbed and wanted to dig out the true dragon grass. However, he was moved. The true dragon grass seemed to have merged with the soil. When Su Yin pulled, the true dragon grass leaked out a majestic force that really made Su Yan's palm numb. What a guy! Su Yin was speechless. His palm shone brilliantly. His entire palm was intertwined with dense patterns like a true dragon. When he hit it, the true dragon grass wailed on its own. Su Yin exerted force and pulled out the true dragon grass. It was as if he was pulling out a true dragon. The true dragon grass tilted and shone with a resplendent golden brilliance, containing the exuberant power of a true dragon. Su Yin was excited and grabbed another stalk of true dragon grass. True dragon grass. It was also at this moment that the heavens and earth in the distance rumbled. It was one powerful creature after another rushing over. They locked onto the true dragon grass at the same time. A rare item like the true dragon grass can probably only be nurtured in a true dragon's nest. The heavenly Peng of the Peng race was speechless. There were a total of 5 stalks of true dragon grass. Combined together, their value was already comparable to a quasi-sacred medicine. The effects of the true dragon grass were even astonishing. It was of great help to the physical body. They didn't expect there to be 5 stalks here. Stop! There were more than 10 geniuses who came. Their eyes were red because Su Yin had dug out 1 stalk. 2 stalks of true dragon grass were in his hands, but Su Yin was still not satisfied. He wanted to pack up all the true dragon grass and take them away. Bang! However, the entire lake was trembling. Waves rolled up on the surface of the lake and soared into the sky. There were too many cultivators rushing over. They crossed over in groups and headed straight for the true dragon grass in the center of the lake. This kind of ancient medicine could only be encountered by chance. Who would be willing to give up such good fortune? Rip! A large claw stretched out and could easily tear apart the void. The Pung race's Heavenly Peng's battle prowess was exceptional. A single claw could fill the land and almost destroy the entire ancient medicine field. Lightning, even more so, arrived with crackling sounds. Lei Yuang erupted. His entire body erupted with thousands upon thousands of lightning, converging into a huge lightning beast in the void. It roared angrily and emitted destructive light. Even the little Dragon King's eyes turned red. This thing was incomparably important to him. It was worth fighting over with his life on the line. Kill! The entire lake began to tremble. The surface of the lake rolled over and over. All kinds of divine light interweaved together, producing the scene of a great collapse of the void. It was a very terrifying scene. The color of the land within 100 li changed. Overflowing magical auras clashed here. Even though some of their power was suppressed by the true dragon's nest, their battle prowess was still shocking. They fought together to fight over the true dragon grass. And over the true dragon grass, there were also several geniuses who made a move against Su Yin. One after another, their palms struck towards his body. Every move was fatal. Su Yin flew into a rage. He was wearing the Starry Sky battle armor, and his aura reached the peak of the domain. He wasn't suppressed in the true dragon's nest, so he didn't fear these geniuses at all. Rumble. The entire lake disintegrated from the collision. Countless rocks flew in all directions. These people's eyes turned red from the killing. Fortunately, the ancient medicinal field was tough. Otherwise, these rare, ancient medicines would have been completely destroyed. How can his body be so tough? Some geniuses sucked in a cold breath. Their palms struck Su Yan's body, but was like forging iron. It was very difficult to threaten Su Yan's life. However, Su Yan didn't have it easy either. No matter how strong his body was, he couldn't withstand the joint attacks of various geniuses. Su Yan wasn't in the mood to tangle with them. He endured the enormous pressure and pounced forward like a hungry wolf. He charged into the medicinal field and encountered a destructive attack. Su Yan operated the tyrant body technique. His battle prowess became even more abnormal. Every move he made was flowing with the most unyielding and tyrannical aura. Some creatures were overwhelmed with shock. It was as if they had drilled their way in. We will reserve 2 true dragon grass. The little Dragon King and Su Yan joined forces. Their words made the various geniuses fly into a rage. There were only a few true dragon grass left, and they wanted to reserve 2. Kill.